Welcome everyone to another session of Crituitous RP. Thank you for joining us tonight. Before we get started with our wonderful adventure, we would like to thank our newest friends and followers for this week. That was UK Berry and R1KX150. So thank you to you two for following. Please share us with your friends. Get everyone clicking that follow link and let us know that you like us through that. Follow us on Twitter. We are at Crituitous RP. You can check out our YouTube channel, which we also stream live on. Hey, it's youtube.com/CrituitousRP as well. So, without further ado, last session, our heroes defeated the Tomb of the Nine Gods. The Soulmonger destroyed. The undead fetal deity that was being fed by the Soulmonger killed. The Arch-Lich that created everything destroyed for now. Carmen killed. But resurrected. Hey!
Hey!
That's more or less what happened last week. We left the tomb, and now we find ourselves back in the city of Omu. Our heroes have the world at their fingertips. Effectively, Carmen has just been resurrected, if I remember rightly, or we ended the session last week with Carmen being resurrected or reincarnated. You haven't done it yet?
Roll for it. I think we're in the middle of the ceremony because I want to set the scene.
Okay. All right. So I'm going to take it away to Tower and Carmen, simply because they already know what the outcome of the reincarnation is going to be. So what's happening, Tower and Carmen?
So,
and I think in this case, who's with you? Is Laszlo still with you?
But he is not involved in the ceremony.
Okay.
So Tower will have covered the. I said it before. He's sort of decorated it with flowers and stuff like that, and then neatened her up and cleaned her off. And he prepares for the ritual and then casts the spell, passes it over her. As he touches the realms and pulls from beyond the planes to her soul, he gets a funny feeling as he touches all of the elemental planes.
Okay.
And somehow he forms a connection in doing that, and then he wills Carmen's soul to him. Now, this is down to Elaine if she's going to come.
Okay. So the reincarnation spell doesn't move the soul of the person that was lost into that person. During the ritual, during the process, Tower is actually creating a new physical form. Mm-hmm. Just naturally in that transitive state of assuming the learning about the elements, he's also learning about how the elements work together to form a person. And that person will be a human as Carmen wakes up, resurrected, back in the arms of Tower, but considerably less half-elf.
Yes. So she'll kind of come around and be like, oh, and then she'll just hug him and hold on to him and be like, all right, what happened there? Okay, what's going on? Why is my hair a different color? Oh, my legs are back. Oh, they're not hairy anymore. Okay.
Tower's going to notice what he's actually done. He's never cast this spell before, so he wasn't too sure how this is going to turn out. I brought you back.
Why is my hair brown? I was blonde.
The spell creates a new body for you.
Oh. She had a little tattoo on her hip that she never told, like, obviously her daddy about. So, oh, that's gone. Okay. Oh, okay. And then she's going to feel around and be like, where are my ears?
I may have made a mistake.
Where are my ears? You made a mistake. You made a mistake. Wait.
The spell
I'm not complaining, but
unpredictable. It may have not given you a elven body.
You mean I'm human?
It appears so, yes.
I'm human.
I have never done that spell.
I'm human.
Before. I'm sorry,
I'm
Carmen.
human. Oh, okay.
Also, any piercings that you might have had, they're gone.
Yeah. So have I actually lost all my earrings I had? All the jewellery, will that be on the floor?
They're still on the body.
So
Actually,
there's two, but there's no body?
would there be a body left over after the reincarnate spell
That
is
would
finished?
be freakier.
The spell does state that you can find pieces of the person and you create a new body from the original form. So I've kind of imagined that her form would shift around the new
Okay. Yeah.
Okay, so I'll just kind of look down, like I'll kind of sit up anyway, hug tower, look around. I'm surrounded by flowers, and then I'll kind of just start to like scavenge round and then find my earrings and probably like a neck chain or something. Which the neck chain was my mother's, and the earrings would have been from Gamel. So I'll kind of gather those all up, and just be like, just kind of be just playing with her ears a lot. Thinking things through, working out all the things that if she's human now, what can she not do? What can she do now? And then look back to Tower and just be really grateful. Just be like, thank you so much. Thank you. I know it's not perfect, but thank you.
As long as you're back.
We were down in the bottom, and I remember us killing Serac, and everything was good. And then Laszlo, you're throwing things into the lava, and then this guy popped up, and next thing I know, I'm here.
I was just gonna grab and hug him.
Did he kill me? Did
he used the word, the death word.
Oh yeah, because I saw him move out of the silent circle. Oh. Is everyone else okay? Why are we the only ones here? Where's Zola? Where's Avery?
So they are fine. They are back at the stronghold for the UNT.
Okay, why are we not there?
Because I did not feel it wise to take your dead body to a bunch of human-eating creatures.
Yeah, okay. I appreciate that. Okay.
They might have thought you were an offering, and
okay.
We may not have been able to talk our way out of that.
Okay. All right. I need a drink, and I need a hug, and I'll be okay. Thank you so much. Thank you. And she's going to just squeeze his hand, give him a hug, and she's a bit confused right now. She's lost her point years and her dark vision, not that she doesn't know it yet. And
as she hugs him, Tower is going to well up with a little bit of joy, and then kind of lose control and turn into an air elemental and sweep her up into the air.
Which is going to freak her out even more. She's just been dead. She's come back to life. She's now up in the air. So you're just going to turn into an elemental.
And just kind of hug you in the wind.
Okay.
You can't breathe.
No!
You're spinning. You're getting dizzy.
You put me down.
You're gonna have to cast that spell again soon if you're not careful.
I think he's going to drop her down slowly and just step away and kind of float away and not realize what he's changed into, and he's just going to.
Tell what's going on with you.
And then he's going to drop the form and try to get control of himself.
Okay.
And then he's like, I do not know. I touched the planes when I brought you back. I feel like I've made some connection.
Okay.
I seem to be able to wild shape into some elemental form.
Okay. Didn't happen to find my ears when you were touching planes. No. Okay. All right. Okay. Okay.
Well, I can try again if you wish.
No. We're good. We're good. We're good. We're good. Are you okay?
I'm okay. Now that you're back.
Laszlo, are you all right?
Muted. Still muted.
Yeah. Still muted. Still muted.
It is fun
Sound
watching his
My
list.
breath away. I was trying to speak, but the
Win.
from this moment was just so difficult for me. But congratulations, you singularly responsible for the death of a terrible lich,
Yeah.
who doubtless would be the means of the death of many people. So you are to be richly congratulated. And I will go through my pockets, and I still have my Pearl of Power, I think, right? I didn't get rid of that one.
You should do.
Yes, you should hold on to this as a reward for your selfless sacrifice to destroy a terrible evil in the world.
Oh, thank you. That's really kind.
I know it was difficult, so I hope that this makes up a little bit for the difficult.
Yeah, that's really kind. Thank you. That's really cool. And she'll give him a hug. She's a hugger. She'll give him a hug and be like, "So, I'm human now. Is it?"
Welcome to the club.
Yay!
So excited, he's not coming through clearly.
No.
The wind in here is terrible. The wind is still just ruining my voice.
I'm sorry, I did not have breakfast.
Calm down, Tower. Calm down. Okay. Right. Okay. Well, I feel a bit different. I'll work it out. I'm guessing I haven't forgotten the languages I knew, because it's not language. You wouldn't forget a language, I imagine.
No, your mind hasn't changed. Just everything that is physical about being who you are.
Okay, cool. So I'm still same height. So my hair's come back dark, mainly because, as we kind of covered, like ages and ages ago, I said that Carmen dyed her hair blonde. Anyway, because it was kind of a part of a show, part of the whole thing she did, and then she always had the tips being blue. So she's now brunette, and she's human. So I think she'll just stay, for now, she'll just stay like that and not prestidigitation anything or, you know.
Okay.
Okay.
Meanwhile,
Yes.
So we should walk back to and go join Zola.
Well, we'll work it out. Yeah, let's work it out.
Captain, are you coming with us? I know you spoke about going to the tomb.
I will. Well, that is not for tonight. We have just been out of the tomb not too long. It would be nice to settle for a moment and then go from there. So yes, let us go. I do not know where we are going, but I will gladly follow the boat.
Let's not rush. Let's not rush. Let's give him time.
This is time for revelry.
Let's give him time. Give him time.
And drink.
Definitely give me a drink. Definitely give me a drink.
And
we'll wait.
And you, Paladin, will you drink with us?
I have my armor and this axe. Not food or drink, so I do not know if I can help in that regard. But if you are offering and have any, I would certainly not say no.
Sure.
Carmen will always have alcohol.
I am sure we can find drink.
Yeah.
So,
yes.
Meanwhile, while that's going on, it's the same time, just after dawn, after everyone's had a long rest, inside the Fane of the Night Serpent. We have Averine, Zola, and Pijo, just the three of you, inside the Fane of the Night Serpent. As you wake up, you've got your advisors around you, constantly like fiddling about, trying to make sure you're ready, and they're bringing clothes for you, Zola, and food and drink, and really just trying to wait on you hand and foot straight away.
Perfect.
But
we need
what is it
people
that you
food.
guys would like to do?
Okay.
You need people food. We can get you some people if you would like.
Not people who are food. We need food for people.
Oh, food for
these two.
All right.
Is there any before you go, Nis, are there any problems that we are dealing with beyond the traitorous Yuan Ti? I am probably going to be hitting up some local hotspots of civilization. If you think that we need anything, I could probably acquire some stuff while I'm out.
We have always been very self-sufficient, capable of hunting for what we need. I can't think of anything that you could get from civilization that would not be more appropriate to claim with our own hands.
Okay. Are there any other threats directly around Omu? Like do you guys know about the enclave of red wizards beneath the heart of Ubtao floating around the basin?
We are aware. Certain people told us about them, but we will keep an eye out for them. I'm not so much afraid of them. If what you have said has been done, then I think there may be less desire for the Red Wizards to be here, but more desire for others to come here. Omu was and always shall be the capital of Chult. I would not be surprised if the people that claim to be Chultans would try to reclaim Omu for themselves.
Okay, we need to stop anyone from thinking they can just run up here and take something if they want it. What are our defenses like beyond the gargoyles? Are the gargoyles their own thing, or do we command them?
The gargoyles around the outside were created by Razansi and his patron. Their purpose was only to harm those trying to enter the city by the air.
Okay.
So.
What's up with that? That's fine. That's enough information about that. What's up with that skeletal giant serpent that's hanging out in the armory? Can we make more of those?
We need assistance in
there you
order
go. Now we're talking.
To reclaim, to create more guardian nagas.
Okay. So who do you need for that specifically? You need enchanters, conjurers, what?
They are hard to summon, but we know of where one is if you were willing to acquire it.
Okay, maybe not now. We still got a lot of other stuff, a lot of other loose ties, but that's something to pursue at a later date. I will also be looking into golems, so if you have any artificers around, I will want to know who they are. I will want a roster of all of our local resources within Omu and a report on all of our current platoon captains, and you will have that for me when I return.
Okay. If you find yourself by any ancient ruins in the jungles, then you may find a bone naga. Perhaps converse with it and convince it to come and guard for us.
Okay, I'll try that.
Okay.
And I'll turn to Avery and Puju and say, good morning.
You know,
Good
when
morning,
he said
Zula.
threats from above, he meant my people, right?
Come again?
The gargoyles that he was talking about. We have a history with them. They're not usually very friendly to the Arakakra. I mean, I think when we first met you, we dealt with them.
Would you like to change that?
If possible, yes. I can't change it, but you might be able to.
Well, Avery, what are they? Gargoyles. They are constructs.
Elementals.
Right? They're elementals.
Mm-hmm.
Weird.
Yeah.
Okay, so they have their own sense of personality, and you have to actually talk to them. Do you know what language they speak?
Terran. That's what I picked for Pujo's preferred enemy. So.
Oh wow! You know Terran, Piju?
I do.
That's incredible.
I cut my chops hunting these gargoyles.
Okay, we can attempt to stop by and talk to some of them.
It would be good. Otherwise, I don't know that they're gonna not. I don't know that they're gonna stop fighting the Aarakocra up in Kirsabal, just because the UNT have a new leader.
Yeah, and if they don't stop fighting, we can at least figure out what's up with that. Because yeah, okay, all right, we'll do that. Everine, is there anything that you wanted to make sure to get done before we leave Omu?
Well, last night before we went to bed, I studied a bit, and I think I've come up with a way to teleport using the teleportation circles that are found from time to time in more civilized places. And with the direction from the DM, those teleportation circles are perhaps...
You get 2 when you learn the spell for the first time, correct?
Yes.
So,
if there was one in Kirsabal, I would be happy to have that one. If there isn't one, then I suppose Port Nyanzaru, somewhere like in the House of Knowledge or something.
Yeah, so there isn't one in Kirsabal. So I would imagine that Port Nyanzaru, yes, and also where was the library that you were actually going to when all of this started?
That would have been Candlekeep.
Candlekeep, there we go.
Specifically, one of the towers that belongs or have been assigned to the Order of the Shining Hand.
So I would say you would already have that teleportation circle memorized, ready to go, so you can get home.
And I also got that one from the heart of Ubtao with Valindra's permission.
Yeah.
All right. So I can teleport back to the port, Nyanzaru. We can also get to the heart of Ubtao if we would want to try to travel from there back to Kirsabal, if that was something you were interested in doing, Piju. I also have the way to get back up to Baldur's Gate.
Awesome.
But we should check on Tower and Carmen and Laszlo. I remember Tower had an idea to bring Carmen back, and I'm keen to see how that went.
Sounds
or
good.
help if I have to.
I'll grab them some breakfast and foodstuffs. Nice breakfast.
Can I just grab some more of these fancy poison arrows on the way out? Because those are very helpful. Thank you.
You can get another 10.
That's fair. Can I get any regular arrows too?
You can get 12 extra regular arrows. A lot of the weapons and armament, as you go to refit Pijo's stash, you'll find that a lot of the weapons and armament that were in the armory have gone, along with the bone naga that was defending it previously.
What? Where'd the bone naga go?
Nitz,
where'd the bone naga go?
It left with the goods.
With the good, like it robbed us?
No, but it was the deal that was made with that particular naga was to defend all of our armory, our weapons and armor. When half our people took half the stuff, its responsibility split in 2, and it chose to go with the stuff away, since the stuff we already have is still within our grasp.
People who were running this place before sure were dumb.
Well, now we have you. You will be staying, right?
No,
You're not
I have so much
leaving
work to do.
Oh.
You guys are on an island right now, surrounded by enemies. I have to do so much right now to ensure that you guys get to stick around. That we get to stick around.
My liege, my lady, would it not be more beneficial for you to stay here and command your people to go out and act on your behalf?
Well, it sounds like immediately I need to go shore up our defenses, since you do not have any here. So I need to go get some.
As you wish. Okay. So you guys leave the Fane of the Night Serpent, grabbing some equipment, and you'll cross paths, hopefully along the same path, and not accidentally through the ruins, just missing each other. I'm pretty sure you'll find one another and see that Carmen is alive and well and different.
So
Where are yours?
does she look exactly the same, just human, or are there any other differences?
So as she explained earlier, her hair color has changed.
Right.
I would say
No tattoos, no piercings.
Yeah, no tattoos, no piercings. I don't, even though it's not like her height changed at all, but her whole demeanor probably shifted a little bit. She's uncomfortable in a new skin, so her behavior might be a little bit reserved compared to what it used to be. So you would notice that as almost a physical difference, but not an actual physical difference. Okay.
Carmen, you look great.
Really?
Yep.
I'm not kind of feeling it. I mean, I'm alive, so I'm not complaining. Tower did an amazing job, for a first go.
Aye, well done, Tower.
Yeah.
It was a complicated spell. I'm sorry I could not.
Don't
do
apologise. Please don't apologise. Thank you so much. But yeah, I don't feel exactly the same, and I'm still getting used to it. But I'm good. I'm all right. And Laszlo gave me a pearl, which is really kind of him. So I'm all right. I'm okay. It's wonderful to see you guys. I'm just so glad. I was so worried. I woke up and you weren't there, and I was like, oh my god, what if you all died down there after something happened to me? And I'm just so glad you're okay. And she's gonna just kind of just brush past Pijo unintentionally and just hug Zola, because it's like she's her doll mate. So she's just gonna hug Zola and she'll be like, I'm so glad you're all right.
I'll wrap her up in my snaky tail. And she'll get a full body, like, it's draping all over her. She's got, like, a tail coming off of her head here.
Awesome. Massive hug, yeah.
Well, don't worry about the changes. Only took me, like, 2 days to get used to mine. So, you won't notice in a couple days, I'm sure.
And to be fair, you went through much more change than I think I have. I just don't feel as cool as I did. And
well, I mean, if you do want a snake butt, I know people who might be able to accommodate that.
You know what? I'm quite happy with my butt, and I'm quite happy that
it's an alright butt.
I was so thanks. I was my legs were getting a bit like crooked and hairy with that stuff. So actually, I'm just glad that they're normal looking legs and my bum's back to normal. And I've lost my tattoo. I had a little tattoo.
Time to get a new one.
Yeah.
Maybe we can get a tattoo together.
Well, and it is a wonderful opportunity to start over, because I know my right shoulder, it hurts in the rain because of an old injury. And with a new body, you don't have any of those aches and pains and the little things that happen. So you get to start all new, brand new.
That's true. So we could all get tattoos together. Maybe we'll do that later. But oh my god, my mum and dad are on their way. Oh my god. Well, at least they're not turned up and I'm not dead. I might have to like just drop them a message at some point. But what's the plan? Where are we going, guys? What are we doing?
Well, so in the morning, instead of putting on the mithril chain shirt that I had been wearing, I went back to my regular chain shirt. So I'll hand the mithril chain shirt to Carmen. Say, Carmen, now that we're out of imminent danger, I'll give you this chain shirt back. I'm quite comfortable in my old one.
Oh, that's cool. Thank you. Actually, because I've got some armor from Tower that he gave me, so I will take that off and hand that back to Tower. So we're all just kind of swapping clothes at the moment.
Look away,
Yeah.
you perverts.
The thing is, Carmen's kind of good. She's going to just put her back to everybody, go up near a tree and just kind of take it off because she's just curious, just to see if she's still got the same size girls or not. So she's just going to do that and come back. And then
Well,
like,
before ever even said anything, so before ever even said anything, Picho didn't even realize there was anything about this that could have possibly been remotely sexual or anything. He's just like, okay, this is just a human shape doing something.
There wasn't. She's just checking that her body is as it was. That's all.
Tower's just kind of put himself in the way as a blocker and send away.
By the way,
then just go, there you go. She obviously would come back dressed and go, there you go. Yeah.
Speaking of differences and changes. Sorry, Donna, you were speaking.
Before it got cold, I just wanted to give you this amazing breakfast that my priestess has made for you.
Oh my god, I'm so hungry. I'm so hungry.
It's people food.
Tao's gonna stick it.
Oh my, just eat it. Oh my god.
Perception check.
This is like the first meal we've had.
Roll a perception check.
In it.
I'm eating it. I'm hungry. You're really rolling a perception check.
Okay. You know how people often say that human flesh tastes of chickens? Well, this tastes like chicken. But thankfully, your keen senses are able to detect that this probably wasn't human.
Are they eating bird?
Tastes like chicken.
It could be kobold. There were lots of kobolds running around.
No, I'll take that. Otherwise, it's very insensitive of those UNT.
As someone passes a wing past you.
That's a kobold shoulder blade.
Look away!
Yeah.
Okay.
I also so I have attuned to that staff of the Forgotten One. When I return to Candlekeep, I'm going to try to figure out who this Forgotten One was, and to see if we need to keep him imprisoned, imprison him somewhere else, destroy him, read the repercussions of letting him out, that sort of thing. And Aberrine is just wearing the staff, like wrapped up in cloth, so as not to give off the vibe that she is an evil necromancer of some sort. And then she'll hold the Staff of Healing. So does anyone else want to attune to this now?
I only have to see if I've got stuff. Because I think it's only me and you that can use it, isn't it? Oh, and is it Bard as well?
I can use it because I used it originally and I handed it to Aberrine. So I could take it back because I no longer have the Staff of Striking, rather than it be wasted.
Yeah.
If nobody else wants it. So I'll take it.
Are you going to reattune to the Staff of Striking, Carmen?
The Staff of Strike? No. I like the new legs.
Okay.
And actually, it's quite nice to have a sword back in my hand and not a staff. So
I might be. I'm not sure of the magics involved, but if you want to continue using that staff that allowed you to hit with such force, I might be able to remove the associated effects of it. I'm not quite sure.
That would be quite cool. I mean, would there still be effects? Or because I used up all the charges, so that's all gone, and now we're out of the tomb. I don't know if there will be effects or not.
You two need to be quite strong to wield this.
That is true. I'm not strong anymore. It was helpful because I had Kubazan with me, but he's no longer with me, and Averine, I was pretty weak anyway. And I'm back to being. I'm not as weak as I was, but I'm not strong as I was. So.
I could make use of this if you do not wish to use it, and you can remove the curse out of me.
Sure, try. There's also the lycanthropy. I still owe you a curse removal pour. Unless you're intending to see that through.
I am not. Did we not remove that? I thought we removed. Did you not have to? You didn't use it. No.
No.
I forgot all about that.
You're still affected by it, if I remember rightly. You've just not accepted it. Where bore lycanthropy specifically?
I can remove it from myself, Averine, but it is a high-level spell. If you have the capability, I would appreciate it.
Do I know whether remove curse is sufficient for whatever he's going through?
Whatever he's going through, absolutely. You've heard the tales before. A remove curse definitely can remove lycanthropy from a person.
All right. Well, then I will cast remove curse and say, "Come here, tower. Let me look at you." Yeah.
It seems to me that we have gotten out of the tomb and we have had a busy night and we are trying to do all these things. Perhaps it would be better if we found a place to sit down for the day, to take care of these things, look at our equipment, figure out what Carmen can do still in her new, beautiful body. And then we can take care of these items without being in the open road between ruins when who knows what may come at us. You all seem very familiar with this place, but I will remind you, I am not from here. I do not know how on guard we must be, and I would feel much more secure in a closed location rather than in the open of the decrepit jungle. But that is just me. Perhaps you feel differently.
As Laszlo suggests, maybe we go somewhere that's a bit more secure so that we don't have to deal with something suddenly springing on us. There is an explosion right outside,
Something suddenly springs on us.
right behind Laszlo. Just an epic explosion that it looks like it's a fireball that goes off, but it is black.
Oh my lord.
It expands to a 40-foot wide, 40-foot diameter sphere of just a void through which you guys can seemingly hear some form of whispers and gurgling sounds. A little bit, Laszlo being right in front of it would be able to hear like slurping as if something is feasting on some flesh. And as it disappears, a single, fairly tall, thin, half-elven wizard in dark robes steps out with a tiefling sorcerer at his side. The half-elven wizard smacks his staff on the ground. There are sparks that go off everywhere. And in a booming voice, just shouting out in such a way that the whole city could probably hear, "Where is Carmen?"
Uncle Loic! And she's just gonna run forward
Behind her, Mupezi!
and hug.
Before you get to actually put your arms around this wizard whose left arm is a large split tentacle, he tilts his staff a little bit and just kind of pokes you on the forehead with it to push you back a little bit.
Sorry.
Okay. You look different. Is it you?
It is me.
Poke.
Oh, come on, Uncle. Look, we killed a Serac, okay? I wasn't going to come out of it exactly the same. They all did, but look, things didn't go perfectly, all right? And yeah, I've lost my hair, and don't tell Dad yet, but I'm not an elf anymore, and I don't know how I'll tell him, but it could have been a lot worse. It's the only way I could come back. And, Tower here, he helped me and he saved me, and that's how I ended up no longer being a half-elf, and I'm really sorry. But thank you so much, because you saved Grigori, and that's all I need you to do, and I'm so happy you saved him, and as you can see, my friend is extremely happy you saved him.
Scene, and she's like all up on him, like it looks like a squirrel running around on her torso. Looks like a squirrel running around on the tiefling.
Yeah.
To which point Loic will turn the staff and point it at Tower. So you did this to her. His cape flaps a little bit. You see on the inside of his robes a series of eyeballs that all just turn to stare at you.
It was the only way to bring her back. The only way I'm capable of.
I'm not dead. Look, Uncle, I'm not happy about it either right now, okay? But I'm not dead, and I'm human at least, so at least I'm a bit like my mum. It's not like I'm, I could have come back as anything, so I'm sorry, but he saved my life. All of these people here, everyone here saved my life, and we all work together.
Sorry, someone's at the door.
Go.
And we saved the world and shit.
I think I'm here.
We saved the world and shit. Zola looks very happy right now.
The visual of Zola wrapping around like a squirrel, considering Zola is now probably so much bigger than he is, just made me chuckle a little bit inside.
It's like the game Snake, where you can't touch your own tail.
Yeah.
And it's worth noting Grigori looks different than before. Everything about him seems somewhat more menacing. His horns are longer, a little more curved, a little more wicked. His skin's a little darker. But he has a much more pleasant smile and demeanor than usual.
Oh.
Does he look older?
He looks the worse for wear.
Okay.
Pandemonium will do that to you.
Yeah. Your family will want to know that you're okay. I'm going to leave him in your capable hands.
Okay.
He will then hand a strange-looking sending stone to Grigori, just so that we can talk, and then pops out.
Wait, before he pops, just for a bit, let me tell Dad. You can tell him I'm okay, but let me tell him what's happened. Please don't tell him for me.
What's it mean to you?
Well, I'm hoping that you might respect me as an adult, considering I killed a Saurak with my friends here, and I saved everyone from a death curse, and I can't save the world, so, cut me some slack a little bit. I know I'm a kid, but...
Roll a persuasion check.
Okay.
It seems in our time together I rubbed off on you a little bit, making deals. You didn't care for that much when we first met.
You're really going to go down that road with me right now? Come on, I saved your life, mate. Come on. Right.
She was no kid.
I'm not asking for
She
you
nearly
to save her.
single-handedly destroyed the Sarak herself.
No, I didn't.
She was a warrior poet.
Wait, I had a sing-off with Beholder and everything. You missed it.
The blows she landed.
And you won that sing-off with the Beholder. He just didn't
Did.
uphold his end of the bargain.
Wait, I'm sorry.
20. Okay. All right. Fine. I'll give you the opportunity to tell him first.
Thank you.
All right.
I know what that means. Okay, thank you. Thank you. Thank you for everything. Love you.
He'll wave the tentacle at you, which is somewhat bigger and more, I would say, more muscular, slightly grosser as well, as he's been building up the strength and the capabilities of this particular tentacle. Immediately, a cascade of more of these, what looks like the spell Evard's black tentacles that just suddenly erupt into the space. Then he steps into them, and they kind of curl around him as he disappears from view, leaving Grigori in amongst the party. So Matthew, do you want to tell us what Grigori's been up to for the past little while? And if you need Casey's help, by all means.
Well, so I presume this would come out over the next little bit. After I was banished to the plane of water. I was saved by apparently your uncle, Carmen, who is... I'd kind of hoped that is the last I see of him, but I guess with this stone there are still favors owed. Have you been to his fortress in Pandemonium, Carmen?
She's just going to smile and not give him the answer.
Well, it's
because
a colossal...
Grigori's learned a lot in the past few... Grigori's learned a lot since he disappeared about what he didn't know, so she's just going to smile at him.
Well, I should ask one question. How long have I been gone?
3 or 4 days.
3 or 4 days.
Long.
Okay.
It's been a long 3 or 4 days.
Well, it's been more than that for me. It's hard to remember exactly how long. There was Loic and I did not get along to start, and we may. I wouldn't say we get along now, but there's a certain understanding, I suppose. He tried to kill me with a black pudding. I tried to kill him with a black pudding. It was a thing. We went to Dis. I ran into some Dispitter, who may or may not be trying to kill me now because he knows who I am and what that would mean. We also went... Oh, what is that, Tower?
What do you mean he knows what you are?
Oh, Dispitter is a demon or devil of the highest order who can pierce people's mind. He knows I'm an avatar of Asmodeus. The Nine Hells is a place of great bureaucracy and one-upping and...
What?
Light bulbs just suddenly start going off all around everyone. As avatar of Asmodeus?
No big deal, eh?
More forthcoming than usual.
I've told this at least to Zola, I believe, about...
You haven't told anyone else, Mackenzie.
She's very loyal.
It's been so many days that I've been stuck with Loic. I can't tell it anymore.
Well, I think this explains a whole lot.
It does.
So...
No, what does this mean? Avatar.
All tieflings have the blood of Asmodeus. That everyone knows, right, Averine? That's not unusual. But the Lord of the Nine Hells puts an individual stamp on multiple beings in the world, as do other demons and celestials and all types. It may mean nothing, it may mean something, but I am that mark or blood runs in my veins. Some people can view that as a great threat. So I may or may not be hunted and killed by followers of other devils, other followers of Asmodeus, celestials. There's a reason I've kept this relatively quiet. My very existence makes me a target by most everyone who's interested in this sort of thing. Both friend and foe would see me dead. So I'd ask your discretion in regards to that.
Why have you chose to trust us with this information?
Well, I didn't know you at start, but I know you now. Spending with your uncle can certainly change one's views. And I have come to realize that while I have lived most of my life either out of fear or ambition, without having anyone near me, almost dying and then being saved by you all, made me think perhaps that was not the best way to go about protecting myself and the best way to go about living my life. Not much has changed. There are still people after me, and I still have to become the best and the strongest to survive. But Loic has given me a glimpse of what that might mean.
there is a lich to deal with, is there not, Gregory? We have killed 3 in the last couple of days. We could do it.
Yes, though from
They're
from
real
what little
easy to
from what
kill.
little I've heard, from what little I've heard, killing a lich or 2 ought to be no great difficulty.
Well,
Worst case scenario, one of us comes back human.
I would hate
Well,
that.
yeah.
No.
So the whole time, so Averine sees Grigori and Loic show up, and Loic leaves, and Grigori talks about their difficulty getting on together, and she's like, big ironic and big shock, like, no, you don't say. You had a hard time getting along with someone, in her mind. And then he goes on to say that he's the avatar of Asmodeus, and he's like, this guy is so full of himself. I know that he's in league with the Nine of the Hell, the Lord of the Ninth, but there's no way that he's the avatar of the fella. He's back for a minute, and I'm already sick of him again.
So, Laszlo, this is Grigori.
Oh, it's great pleasure to meet you. And who are you? My name is Laszlo. I met these people in the tomb. We fought a Sararak. Oh, well, thank you for helping my friends. It is my pleasure.
Oh,
Well, with that, I don't think we'll ever talk to each other again. I agree. It's a great idea for reasons I do not understand.
oh.
So, with that, you have Grigori back. What's the plan, folks? Where are you going to go? What are you going to do?
Zola may be a bit distracted right now, I imagine, because she's got the boyfriend back, and she's going to be very happy.
Do we wish to partake in revelry and let us have a day off?
Revelry!
Party!
We have been fixed on a goal for 3 months, so we have succeeded. Let us celebrate.
It's been longer than that.
And push on tomorrow.
As any good soldier knows, when you finish your patrol and are done for the day, you get the R&R, as they say.
I like it. However, I might suggest that we wait to party until we return to Nine Zaru.
Okay.
Now's not. Like, when I went back, my people informed me that half of the Yuan-Ti living in Omu have actually separated, and they are now considered traitors, and they are out to kill me, and they're out there. So we're not safe.
No one's going to kill you.
It sounds like there is a
No, they're not.
great deal. It sounds like there's a great deal more that's happened in 3 days, and perhaps we should take some time to collect ourselves. Yes, I have not slept all the night. I am still very tired. Perhaps one day to collect ourselves and make a plan would not be amiss, no?
Laszlo, do
Yes.
you mean to accompany us across Cholt?
That is other thing. I would like to know why you are leaving. Because the tomb is still here, and the tomb is still a great danger. And while a Sararak or the Soulmonger or what have you is still destroyed, there are many great dangers there of undead. So I'm not from this place, and it seems I can get back to my home and the people who need me only here. So I intend to destroy this tomb or use the tomb to get back to my home. But if there are very strong reasons to destroy other undead or other liches, it sounds like there are other liches, and you know I am down to destroy the liches. But perhaps we could make a plan.
When you say destroy the tomb, what do you mean?
Oh, no, do not get me wrong. There are good gods in there. I know
Yeah.
Papa Zotto. I mean to destroy. There is still the Aboleth. There are still
Okay.
various undead. There are witches.
All right.
If we can find a way to release the spirits that are trapped there and then drop the mountain on it, that would be great. But it is not my intention to harm good spirits and trap them there forever.
I think that we all have the items that the gods were associated with, and they're now outside of the tomb, so I don't know how the magic will work on that, but I do know that there is one god in there that we did not find, named Shagambi. If you would like help, she might be able to assist you.
Well, and that is my point. I think perhaps I will stay, but I do not know this place, and I am still very tired. So tired.
Well, there are other threats for us to deal with, but if your heart is set on taking care of the threats within the tomb, I'll not begrudge you for it.
You were very helpful in my destroying of the Acererak, my greatest enemy, a mortal nemesis. Even though I know to him I am little more than an inconvenience, but still, if you require my help.
Captain, if we perhaps...
With you. But if I can be of help...
If you accompany us, then perhaps we can raise mercenaries at Naranzaro. We have plenty of wealth now and treasures that we can help you gain a company, and then you can re-enter the tomb with the men.
Well, but it also sounds like this one, pointing to Zola, has a whole group of people here who require perhaps a little overviewing, a little administration, and who also could help me in my what I am doing.
They won't see you as an equal.
No, of course not. I do not need them to see me as equal. I just need them to do what I say.
Yeah, they're not going to do that. They would sooner eat you.
Well, that is other issue.
Actually, what's likely to happen is they would enslave you. But you also don't want just anybody going into that tomb, because we didn't find all the magical things. We didn't hit all the buttons in there. You don't want someone like that kobold getting in there. So I don't know about bringing in anybody that we don't already know.
Well, at this point, everyone I knew is dead except you. So I have worked alone for many years. I have no problem continuing to do so. If you could leave me some provisions,
yeah,
I will be just fine.
I could do that. I might be able to tell my people that you are out there. He's guarding some stuff. Leave him alone. I might get away with at least that much. And I was actually interested in pursuing the tomb again, kind of like you. I don't know. I don't have any plans for the time being.
Well, you say there are cubes to enter the tomb.
But later on, Averine, I was wondering, if I understand Candlekeep correctly, you guys are just all about information and study, right? The more information, the better?
I mean to return there and report on everything that happened.
Okay. I might go with you and see if we can get a couple of researchers out here to try to get the gods out of the temple.
And well, this is their tomb, isn't it? They're dead.
Well, their spirits are still stuck in there, though. I don't like that. Like, imagine how that would be for you. That'd suck.
It is like a soulmonger, but just for those 9.
Yeah.
But with the upside that nothing will be eating them.
Yeah, that's the long-term plan. So if you go in now and do what you can, then we'll see if we can send some reinforcements later.
Well, Laszlo, you were carrying all the things that were in my chest. Do you see anything in there that you could use?
I still have my power shield here with so much jewels. I have no use for jewels or magics. The divine powers that my god gives me are not dependent upon such things. I would trade them all for a canteen that never ran out of water, for example, would be great.
I don't think we have one of those.
Well, any canteen that is already full would be good.
So just some water would be great.
Yes, but not water. Like, I have to hold it somehow, and I don't have anything but my shield and my sword. Well, my axe now. So I need a water skin.
We have this Symbian wine flask. That's very fetching. It looks like it would be worth 50 gold pieces. It's a very, very fine wine flask.
Oh,
Would you
that
like
is
that?
very... Yes, that would be wonderful. Thank you. Well, I shall then endeavor to guard the tomb and to explore it much more carefully than before. Now that the Serarak is dead, I am not so determined to get to the bottom at all costs. And I know the dangers of that tomb and this place, so I shall be very careful. So if it takes you some time to come back, I may yet still be here, unless I have found a way back to my home, or unless I have been unlucky, in which case you will find my body. But I would not mind coming back as a half-elf. Oh.
You might come back as a halfling, but I'll see what I can do.
Despite the small body, I am sure it will not in any way dampen the energy of my spirit.
Just makes the shield bigger.
Yes, that way this new shield will be like my power shield again. It will cover all of me.
Okay,
Alright.
so do we want to continue to rest and talk about our continued plans, or do we want to go ahead and try to find those cubes again so we can get Laszlo back in there?
Are the cubes the only way in?
Are you asking me or each other?
I was asking the party.
Are we unsure if the cubes, once the door seals, do the cubes return to the tombs, or do they?
When
remain?
you guys teleported outside the tomb, you landed right outside the actual door entrance, and the cubes were not there.
Okay.
So they definitely disappeared somewhere. Where they went, it's unsure. Do you want to go to any of the, I would say, easier shrines to
I
try and
recall
just
there's
test it
one
out?
relatively nearby. Let's just go take a look.
So
Yeah.
going specifically to, let's say we go to Kubazan's shrine. It was one of the first ones that you went to yourselves, and it's one of the simplest ones to get to. The corpse of the Froggermoth is still floating face down in the water. Passing by it, the doors to the shrine have not been fixed. They're still pushed open. And as you go in there, you'll see that the cube is sitting on its pedestal at the back of the shrine. Same deal as before, the platforms around the side, spikes on the floor. Now, Kubazan possessed Carmen as a result of her touching which item?
Oh God.
The bracers, right?
Yes. Yes.
Right.
Thank you. It was the braces.
Do you still have the braces on you?
Pijo had them.
Okay. Pijo, do you still have them on you?
Yes.
Okay. Pijo, as you approach the shrine and almost like approach the threshold, your braces will begin to hum and vibrate somewhat. And you'll see the cube that was just a simple stone puzzle cube begins to glow and vibrate with the same resonance as your braces right now. Images will begin to etch themselves on all 6 sides of this cube. The image of Kubazan will become embossed in all 6 sides. And then the top seems to just pop as it almost opens up as a lid.
Oh.
Now you fly over the shrine. You'll be able to pick up the thing. The trap doesn't reset, but the thing is empty. It's humming with a arcane nature to itself, but the cube is empty. It's hollow inside.
Averine. It's empty. I didn't even know it was a box, but it's empty. And I'm right. Okay, I'm gonna fly back. Okay, I'm coming. Here. You know this kind of stuff better than I do. It's all buzzy, and I'm all buzzy.
I grab the buzzy.
Okay. Are you identifying the buzzing cube?
Well, I would initially just investigate it or arcana it. If I thought identifying it would be helpful, then that would be the next thing I would do, yeah.
Mm-hmm. Okay, so use an arcana check to see if it's identifying. Oh yeah, it's definitely a magical item, and its magic has definitely altered. So identifying it will be necessary.
And then I will cast Identify.
Okay. After casting the Identify spell on this container, you'll learn it now has, as well as its initial property, which is that it helps to unlock the door into the Tomb of the Nine Gods, it's gained an additional property in that it now acts as a sarcophagus for the spirit of Kubazan. When implanted into the door, the cube will open the door and dematerialize, but rematerialize in the hands of the person who placed it in the door, with the door still open to the Tomb of the Nine Gods. Then, the person with the cube can find Kubazan's sarcophagus and move Kubazan's spirit into the sarcophagus by moving his remains into the small cube. Then, when that person leaves the tomb, Kubazan comes with them.
Oh.
This secondary ability to the cube, clearly your understanding of the arcane nature of it seems to have been triggered by the presence of an item attuned to Kubazan's spirit. Okay.
We do not have all the items.
But the ones we don't have are still in there, right? So, seems like these gods can be saved.
Yay! We gotta go get them all.
That
But
is
I
like a
personally
game I
thought it
played
should
when I
go-
was younger, where you would try to catch all the animals in the area. I had quite the collection. My friends and I, we would try to catch them all. But we were talking about gods, so, you know.
Oh. So whose items do we have and who can we save? So Kubazan, clearly we can save. Who else can we actually save?
Pretty much everybody except for Shigambi.
Okay.
And Wongo.
Did you
No, but
leave-
all we
Wongo.
have
did
to
you
do
leave
is
any of-
find Shigambi. Find Shigambi and take the items and then come back. It takes a little while, but it will not take more than an extra day of work to free the immortal soul of a demigod.
Yeah,
Who then was favors.
I think she just was asking what we can do right now.
I'm not saying no, I'm just wondering, like, right now.
Personally-
Kubazan helped me out, so, you know, that's cool.
Personally, I have no interest in returning into that tomb anytime soon. It
Yeah.
was scary, and it was dark, and we almost died a lot. One of us all did die. I'm gonna.
Yeah.
I say
Well,
let's
Avorine, you were saying
come back to this.
Avorine, you were saying that you have to have the attuned item with you. So if Pijao kept these bracers but did not go into the tomb, I could not take it with me, right? You have to have the item and the cube.
No, just to clarify that you, when claiming the cube from the shrine, you have to have the item attuned to that trickster spirit in order to trigger this secondary ability of the little cube. So in essence, what you guys could do is now all of you go through all the shrines, get all the cubes. You'll be able to trigger the second ability to all of them except Shigambi. and then take all of those 9 cubes to the door, go through the door. You'll get all of them back except Shigambi. Go
And
through and Wango. You don't
Nobody
have
cares about Wango.
Wango's
We can't
magic
rescue
item anymore?
8 of them. The balance is going to be screwy. The whole thing
Yeah,
is
but
about
if they were the bad
balance.
ones,
The
if they
world
were
is
the
better
evil
without
ones-
Wango.
True,
Yeah.
So you'd go in without those 2 squares. You can go in and rescue the spirits of those 7 trickster spirits. And then if you wanted to collect the items needed to rescue the other ones, come out and then go through the process again and grab those. So if you wanted to save all of them, it requires 2 more trips into the tomb. If you wanted to save the ones that you have, it'll take just 1 more trip.
Maybe we do all the ones that we have, and Laszlo, leave the other 2 up to you.
And if we can go in and I can get out and we can eliminate together most of the dangers, I can take cast 1 on my way back to my...
It's not exactly risk-free. There's still a very powerful aboleth inside the tomb.
Yeah.
That is my concern also.
We went into the tomb to stop the curse and to stop Atherak, and I appreciate that these gods are stuck down there, and they were a massive help to us. I appreciate that, but is it not? We did the bit. We did the big mission. We did the big task. Is it not something which we could pass on to? I'd like to say the next generation, but we're not old. But I'd like to. Is there not another group that might want to go and do this? I'm just wondering. Do all of you want to go back down there?
Dirk and his yellow banner might be interested.
His yellow banner.
Well,
Well, why
I feel
don't-
like I feel like I definitely want to just grab Moa and get him out of there. 'Cause he's on the first level. He's real easy to get to. Like, there's nothing to it.
You have to go through the all levels, so,
Could we hold the door open?
and we have to pass the aboleth again.
Actually, do I know the powers of the Black Skull Amulet?
Yeah, I believe so.
Okay, well, if Dimension Door still isn't working, I still have what's his face, the dead guy's Withers' amulet, and I believe that will allow me to pass between the doors. So I do not need to
Withers'
go all the way down.
amulet, though, as you kind of grab it or look at it and whatnot, the magic that fueled it has gone, unfortunately.
Okay. Well, is there any way that we can figure out whether or not Dimension Door will now work? 'Cause if some things have changed, what else has changed?
Yeah,
Well,
anything could have changed.
The Lich was able to get in.
Well, the wards are usually against...
It's not a problem. Getting out is the issue.
Yeah.
But maybe he thought that Asarak would let him get out. I am curious why he would commit himself to going into that tomb, knowing his phylactery had been destroyed. Who knows what awaited him now?
Death is what awaited him. Like all the liches we will face together!
I'm imagining Grigori's just rolling his eyes.
Grigori is actually...
He's actually
giving anything away negative at all. He seems to have a slight smile on his... He's also holding Zola's hand. Oh, wait, wasn't it he wrapped his tail around her hand? What was that thing that they did?
Yeah, he wrapped his tail around her wrist.
That
Held
thing.
onto it like that.
They have a tail each now.
they can wrap the
They can
tails around
both
each
do
other.
Tail of love.
I mean, I feel a sense of obligation, at least to repay the aid that the spirits did for us. And without their help, we certainly wouldn't have prevailed, I don't think. So I can see, I understand your desire, Zola, to go back in there and free the spirits. I just think we should be cautious in doing so.
Definitely. I don't suggest
And while
not using caution.
I don't want you to feel like you're being doubly in danger, but to an extent, you've also had all the fun. I've come all this way, and I've missed it all, it seems.
It was a nightmare. I'm sure wherever you were, no matter what was going on, it was better. There was a beholder who was invisible.
Yeah.
Not for long, though.
On a frictionless floor. He liked songs of a certain genre as well. Began with D.
Grigori, you would have loved Yaka.
Yeah?
No, you wouldn't.
Yaka was a delight. He told jokes, and he hung out with us, and he was my friend. And that was enough for me.
You would have killed yourself.
All the better.
Certainly, that sounds like one of the greater days.
Well, all right, Zola. If you want to go in, I'm certainly happy to stay with you to retrieve these cubes and do what needs to be done to set this spirits at rest. But of course, no one else is obligated to do so.
Well, the only way to figure out whether or not Dimension Door will work to get back out is to actually perform it. And if that goes wrong, then I get dropped in the room where everything gets dropped, which still is probably very dangerous. So, is there anything that we can do to actually confirm how the magic works before I do it?
If there isn't, and then I guess the smart thing to do, since the Dimension Door spell allows you to bring someone with, would be to bring someone with.
I have in my travels a thing or two. If you'll give me a moment, I can perhaps learn a little more about the tomb. There is some risk, but it wouldn't be too bad if you can give me 15 minutes.
What are you going to try to do? Because we read a whole book that describes how magic works. So I don't know if you know the stuff that we know.
The question's not how things work, but whether or not things have changed. Is that correct?
Yeah.
I can try to make contact with something more powerful, not from this plane, who may or may not know the answers, but it's certainly, if we're just looking for information, a recourse.
No, you go.
I think Averin tried using Mage Hand after everything was said and done in the tomb last time, and it didn't work.
Right, but the Lich was able to get in, which he shouldn't have been able to, as far as we know about how the magics worked. And so it's, yes, Mage Hand didn't work, but some sort of teleportation did.
Again, the teleportation was getting out of the tomb, not getting in, as I recall.
But the book, Wither's book, detailed all the spells that should not work, and all the teleportations were in and out of the tomb. He was able to get into the tomb, so there's a chance that teleportation magic works.
I think Grigori's idea is better than nothing.
Sure. I waved my hand dismissively. It's like, he's not going to find anything out.
Can't hurt.
Well, and Averin, though we've had our differences, I respect you quite a bit, and you may recognize that this is going to be infernal of nature. If that bothers you...
No, I'm just not going to trust whatever it is that you say that they say, because they certainly have no interest in telling you the truth, and your motives are also questionable.
I'm going to pull out a big book that you haven't seen before. I have a big old tomb. I'm actually going to pull Zola aside and say, Zola, I was sincere. If this should be fine. I've done it before. But there is a certain risk, and if things go badly, I may need to be. I won't a little bit. So Averine could surely take care of it, or even Tower to rights again. But just so you know, and if anything goes wrong, you're not overly concerned.
So you broke up some when you were explaining what could go wrong. So I didn't catch
Tower,
it.
your wind form is just killing me. Come on. If things go wrong, I may be a drooling mess for a little bit.
Oh, how long is a little
Just
bit?
take care of me. Oh, not for long. Just until Averine decides that she wants to make me better.
Okay.
Well, that might be a while.
Is it like a curse?
It's not like a curse. It's just I'm going to be contacting things larger and grander than myself, which can have a strain on the mind. But greater restoration or something like that would take care of it.
Okay.
Okay.
I'll take care of you.
And I'm going to pass the plane.
Okay. So, you mentally contact a demigod, the spirit of a long-dead sage, or other mysterious entity from another plane. Contacting this extraplanar intelligence can strain. When you cast the spell, make an intelligence saving throw. Oh. Thankfully, you're still within 10 feet of Laszlo, so you get that.
Well,
benefit.
I've still got my favorite of the gods. I think I would have actually
Yeah.
stepped away from Laszlo, but 20.
Fair enough. So, on a success, you can ask the entity up to 5 questions. You must ask your questions before the spell ends. The GM answers each question with one word, such as yes, no, maybe, never, irrelevant, or unclear. If the entity doesn't know the answer to the question, if a one-word answer would be misleading, the GM might instead offer a short phrase or an answer. In case anyone's interested, I had a little fun with this one at one point. Thanks to WebDM, they alerted me to the fact that the time limit on this spell is that you must ask all your questions before the spell ends. The answers don't have to come before the spell ends. So go ahead and ask your 5 questions.
12 years later. Yes.
Yes.
Yes. Do you know what changes have occurred in the tomb since Acererak's defeat? If so, can Dimension Door be used? If so, are there unexpected consequences for using Dimension Door or other teleportation magic? Are the effects that prevent magics from working correctly in the tomb? And will Averine ever change her opinion?
Okay. So you broke up a little bit during that. So one by one, each question. So the first question was, do you know what has changed since they left the tomb, right?
Correct.
Yes.
So the second one is, does Dimension Door work normally?
No.
And then the third one, because I had to get them all out, was, if are there negative consequences for teleportation magic or unexpected, unnormal results for teleportation magic?
Maybe.
And what was the fourth one? Will spells still not function normally in the tomb? Speaking specifically of the spells that are affected by the tomb.
So the wording on that question, will those spells not work normally?
So will the spells that the tomb has been affecting continue to not function as they ought to?
Yes. They will continue to not function as they should.
And will Averine ever change her opinion of me?
No. Or rather, irrelevant. That's what that entity gives you. The answer to that question is irrelevant.
Irrelevant.
Okay.
Well, it would seem then that the tomb has changed. Dimension door, but there will still be some issues with how things do or do not work in the tomb.
Then we should get into the tomb before anything changes.
Was that Laszlo?
Absolutely.
Again, I have no interest in dealing with this aboleth that already took over my brain once.
Well, we need someone to guard the door. This would be perfect. We can go and you can stay at the door. Alone. In this terrible jungle. With all sorts of dangers coming around you.
That also sounds terrible.
But Tower might want to stay by the door as well. Tower's busy at the moment doing something, but when he's back, I'm sure he might want to stay at the door.
Well, last time when we went in, I had the forethought to wedge something in the first door that opened.
Yes!
But I lacked the foresight to do the same with the second door that opened. Perhaps this time we can wedge both doors open. That way we don't have to rely on magic or have to go all the way down to the bottom again. How's that sound?
We need all these cubes first, and you seem to know where they are. So why are we waiting around here for?
Well, let's go get them then.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, this is how he works. Let's just go. Let's go.
Right.
Yeah.
Scooby-Doo walk.
Montage.
D&D montage.
That is a Thayan word for my hometown, which means let us go quickly.
So, in terms of the challenges that remain for those spaces, the 9 shrines, just quickly looking through them all. Now, I'll move us all to the map of the 9 shrines, but remove the dynamic lighting so you can see all of them now, because they're all in complete disarray. Nothing has been reset.
Tower's going to just go to Zola. Is Uptao going to be okay with us releasing the 9 gods?
I'm sure he doesn't care. You can go ask him.
Maybe we should try and speak to him again.
I guess he doesn't like to answer what you ask.
I know, but he did not seem to approve of the 9 gods. Maybe before. Is this not true? They usurped him. Maybe that.
No, it's not. No, they worked under him. They didn't usurp him. The people started worshiping them and worshiping Ubtao less because they were more active, and he wasn't. But he didn't dislike them for it. He liked several of them. He had fun. He played with a lot of them.
Okay. Maybe we should speak to him anyway. He seemed like he wished us to the tomb. Maybe there is other rewards now. Maybe
You know a way to communicate with him.
We have the rings.
That tomb when we got the rings, he spoke to us. And Zach, perhaps you really wish to speak to him. You seemed excited the last time.
I'm not as excited this time. Things changed. But if you want to talk to him, go for it.
No, I just thought that he might give word now that we have succeeded, is all. But if you do not wish to speak to him, he's not my god, so.
So while you guys are walking and talking and deciding on this, you're going through to get all of those cubes again, right?
Yes.
So you've got Kubazan's. That was simple. It's just a case of flying over, grabbing. Shigambi's cube. Again, the cube is just sat on top of the pedestal. The traps have not been reset because they were deactivated. So you can get that one. Moa's shrine, however, the traps were never deactivated. So there's still a horde of crossbows ready to fire at anyone who crosses its path. So you'll still need to get in through Moa's shrine, past the arrow slits, into the room with the statue, and take the cube, and then get out. Who's going to do that?
And this is the shrine in the top right?
Yes.
Whose did you say it was?
Moa.
Moa.
In fact, I can reveal the names.
How did we get this one? Oh, no, we didn't do this one.
You did do this one.
I don't remember us doing this one.
No,
I
we
remember
definitely
it.
did it.
I think didn't we
okay.
we jammed up the crossbows or something like that? I'm trying to. Because we did.
Did Avery just mage hand it? Grab it and bring it.
I don't think so.
No, it was in this room here. There was a fake one here and a fake one. There are possibly two fakes, but the real one was in this room. And I think I used some sort of teleportation to get in and out.
Okay. So how are you going to get? Because if you remember rightly, the floor in the middle is also a pit trap.
Oh, this is what P-Gel fell down, wasn't it?
No, the kobold fell down.
Dirk.
Oh, yeah.
I think I used this my ability to step through the mists to get in and out of there, and I can certainly do so again if no one else has a less costly. This would be 2 of my level 2 slots, magically speaking. All right, I'll pop in and pop out using
Okay.
Misty Step twice.
So using Misty Step twice, you can go in, grab the cube, come out. Do you have Moa's magical item on you?
I do.
Okay. So Zola will have to approach the threshold at least to trigger the transformation, and then you go in, grab the cube, come out, and then you have that third cube. Next space would be going to visit Unk's shrine. Unk's shrine, you did not collect yourself, if I remember rightly.
Is that the one we stole?
Yeah, I
That was-
believe it was already empty.
That was the one that Missy had.
Yeah. So with this one, you will see as you approach Unk's shrine, you had the shell. You recovered the shell, broke the shell, shattered it into pieces. Didn't you? Or you put it on top of the ballista? This has been so long since that session. But you claimed the shell of the flail snail, and so past that you will see the cube, easily able to just go in, grab it, bring it out. Ijin's shrine. You have to circumvent
Yes.
the platforms at the front. You remember how to without dying. Grigori.
I remember this tomb particularly well. It did not treat me.
You fly over them. That's how you do it.
We flew, yeah, we flew over it.
The smart ones did.
Mhm.
You,
I think it's the first time I've ever been called a smart one.
However, Wongo's tomb appears to be just a straight shot. As you approach Wongo's tomb, you never actually had to go inside Wongo's tomb before.
Nope.
So as you go inside, you see there are 5 different entrances. 2 on either side meet at a gate of sorts that kind of pokes through into the central chamber. But each of those are covered in iron bars themselves that have closed down. So you have a single walkway that leads right into the center of Wongo's shrine, whereupon there is a statue in the middle with the cube inside of it, though. So this one has been reset.
Do we really need this one?
We need a ball to get back in.
Right.
I believe we need them all to get back into the two-way.
Well, we just go straight through the middle and go, right? Let's do it.
The Yellow Banner folks must have gone through this before we did. And I don't see any of their bodies, any bodies lying around, or do I?
You don't. There have been no bodies. There are no bodies around this one.
Is there any clue?
Is this one
With this-
gated up?
Yeah, so each of those doorways, in fact, let me make sure. It should be visible in all accounts. That there are iron bars that close off each of the 4 alternative entrances. Now, as you go in, roll a perception check. Someone, anyone.
Hang on. Who's got good perception? Not me.
All right, so Pijo, Tower, and Zola, you all have pretty decent perception there. You look through and look around the space. You can see that there are switches. The switches that you can see, however, are in each of the 4 corridors, just past where a hand could reach through from the inside. So you see how there's a wall that separates each of these tunnels to the central chamber. That's actually a vertical set of stone with gaps in it that you could reach through, but just past what a person could grab are more of those switches. So those have something to do with it, but there's gates there. What would you like to do?
So there's no gate in the central.
No gate in the central. So you can walk right into the central chamber. There is a statue in the center of Wongo, but he is holding tight to that cube with all 4 of his limbs. He's got hands on the top, feet around the base of it. He's holding tight onto that thing. Outside of that, there are 4 additional tunnels, each with levers and switches inside the tunnel themselves.
Mapenzi, do you care for the preservation of these tombs, of these shrines?
Kind of halfway on that, because I don't know where the gods are going to end up after they get into the boxes. If we gotta put them in here for people to come and visit, or if we can set them free. If they have to return to their temples, then we kind of need the temples. But if they don't need to return to temples,
I'll
then
plot my book.
Well, to be fair, do you really want these temples to be death traps if people have to come and visit them? You may need to rebuild anyway.
What ritual will you be casting?
Tensor's floating disc. And I'm going to cast it on the other side of the bars because it's an inch thick, so I can put it behind the bar and then pull it towards me to try and pull the mechanism like a mage hand. But I don't have mage hands, so that's the best I got.
So you spend 10 minutes casting Tensor's floating disc.
Well, if no one else does anything else, that's what Grigori's doing.
Everybody's going to wait 9 minutes, 30 seconds, I imagine, and then produce main hand.
Is there anything I can use? This is ridiculous.
So, mage, would you try mage hand, Avery?
Oh, not if Grigori is engaged in solving the problem himself.
Oh no, Averine, it would be much simpler and easier for you to use mage hand, but since I'm doing this as a ritual, it's not tiresome or taxing for me. If you care to do your magics, you're more than welcome. I'm not your boss.
It's a simple cantrip, so it's no bother. But I don't see why we have to fiddle with those levers and switches if the cube is right down the middle.
Or if you...
Doesn't it look like the monkey's holding on to the cube with 4...
It looks like the monkey is holding tight to that cube.
Yeah. I
break the
would
monkey?
imagine that they're linked.
I'll use a mage hand and try to pull a lever. See what happens.
You'll pull one of the levers. The hand, one of the hands will begin to glow ever so slightly. Just a little eminence of light coming off of this stonework. Do you use Mage Hand to do all of the rest?
Real quick, before you do that, I'm going to go out and read the plaque real quick.
I was wondering, there's got to be a clue or something somewhere.
It does.
That's what I was going to say earlier.
Yes, let us not be arrogant in our ways. These are supposed to be deadly threats.
Yeah, Zola, what you got? What's it say?
So you go outside and you learn, you read the inscription. It just simply says, Wongo knows who his true friends are.
Okay, well, as I imagined, it's completely useless because Wongo is a butt.
Yay!
What's that mean, Zola?
What do you mean? It means I
What do
don't
you
like
mean
him. He's a jerk.
What is it? What is it? Is useless? What is useless?
It says Wongo knows who his friends are. He's a notorious thief. And so I imagine it's something about thieves.
So do we need to do a sleight of hand or try and stay? I'm just wondering, how do we do it? If he likes thieves, is there something that we can do, Zola, perhaps with our skills to...
Well, I mean, levers aren't... It's not like they're locks.
No, that's true.
Well, if we take the cube, are we not all thieves?
Yeah. Totally.
I'll mage hand the rest of the levers.
Okay. Now, each of his hands and feet that are still attached to the puzzle cube appear to be glowing just a little bit. Just a little bit.
Okay.
If I want to use the mage hand on the cube, I have to go in. It's too far from my mage hand.
Okay.
Then I will stand in front of you to give you protection if it is necessary.
Let me check and see what all could go wrong real quick. I'm going to slither up onto the ceiling and just kind of take a look around for traps.
Okay. Roll a perception check. You know, there don't seem to be any traps. There are no holes where things could shoot out of. There are no false walls.
Okay, well,
No
there's
traps.
nothing physically observable in there that could do you harm, but I don't know about magic.
And what's that? There appears to be something on the wall behind the statue.
It is a painting in the back. Well, a fresco, rather, along the back. The fresco depicts an image of a lion, a zebra, a boar, and a vulture.
I will stand in front of Avorine so she can look over my shoulder, and I will take the dodge action on each turn to be careful for any attacks that may come and hit me, and I will just be the wall of defense that I am.
Laszlo, if you're moving around, you're not really defending me. I feel
No,
like
I
if
am
you're...
standing in front of you in this hallway. It is just creeping forward in the hallway with you right behind me.
All right, well, then I'll get to within 30 feet, and I'll try to use the mage hand on the cube.
Okay. You reach out to use Mage Hand. The Mage Hand grabs hold of the cube. In that instant, time stops. Avorine has a private moment on a demiplane with Wongo himself, speaking within a black void. Just this spirit and spectral form of Wongo approaches and simply says, "Take the prize and curse your friends, or fight my children to claim it. What is your choice?"
I'll not curse the friends.
Then you choose to fight.
I suppose. Unless this is
Very
some sort
well.
of false choice. I'll think outside the box. I choose none of your choices.
Didn't he possess? Did he possess you?
Wongo? No.
Was it not Wongo?
I had Nang Nang.
You
And
guys
then
far away
specifically
from Wongo's
did
tomb.
not get involved in that.
We saw the monkey and we're like, no, not today.
Just so it's worth clarifying, you have to be you have to be inside the tomb to be able to do this, right?
I have to be 5 feet closer than that. Yeah.
Right. And at this point in time, Zola is also inside. Then as Averine returns to... and
Laszlo is standing in front of Averine in the hallway.
Okay. Then as you return to the real plane, the material plane, having annoyed and refused Wongo, the door and the barrier behind you closes off, and Wongo's children appear in the room. You have a nice grouping of Sioux monsters coming to play. Let me grab them all. They all materialize in view and see Zola right there.
I try to call upon the powers of Moa in order to turn invisible, and I am met with silence.
Yeah. So, where's everyone else in this situation? Where's Grigori? He's outside, right?
He is outside by the front door.
Okay. At which point, we're going to take a short break.
No!
So, rejoin us in a couple of minutes once we've, after a short break, once we've had a bit of a drink. On your screens, you should see today's Who's That Monster? Now, a reminder, Who's That Monster is usually a monster or a creature the party have encountered, not necessarily killed or attacked or anything, in the previous session. So pay attention to your screens right now and type in the chat during the break who you think that monster is. We will see you in a bit. Bye. Welcome back, everyone, after the break. Thank you so much for joining us and sticking with us. So, before we jump into the danger and the situation at hand, Pijo is AFK right now, and it's okay. But let's jump on for today's Who's That Monster? So, on your screens, you'll see it, and it was Clay No Face. So if you remember those three little creatures from the last couple sessions that it turns out they were the spirits of children trapped within voodoo doll-like aspects. They were killed by the Sphere of Annihilation, so even their spirits have been annihilated at this point, which is actually quite sad. But we loved Clay No Face, and we will remember him as he was, with a smile that he would draw on his own. So, without further ado, we're going to roll for initiative.
Oh no!
And all that.
I'm sitting there watching, like, oh yeah, all right.
Oh no,
I've got a roll. You just got a natural 20 on initiative. There's a meme for that, you know.
Wow.
I rolled natural 20 on initiative.
The captain's the only one that's rolled. It was 21, 21, 22, 22.
24!
Come on, dude.
Well, this is a good sign. This should go okay.
Well, she's human now, so she's got a +1 on everything.
Level 11. Level 11.
Not that she's got any idea what she's going to do with that.
Oh,
Yes.
sorry about this. I missed
Pijo
this. Lost track of time.
is dead.
No, he's right there. He's fine. And he is. Has he rolled initiative? Did we roll for him? Okay.
No, we haven't rolled for him.
All right.
Okay.
Hey, cool.
Sorry,
So,
Lex.
has everyone rolled for initiative? I have Averine, Zola, Tower, Grigori, Captain, Carmen, Pijo. I think that's everyone. Matthew, are you comfortable with running 2 characters at once?
I am, whether I like it or not. I think I'm ready to go.
Okay, so Pijo and Carmen, you both rolled the same initiative, so you guys can choose amongst yourselves. Who goes first?
Pijo!
Well, okay. Then I have a question. It is mainly, there's these gates and there's these monkey demons on the other side of them, and my friends are in the way. Is there any reasonable way that Pijo would know he could get a clear shot at one of these guys from here?
Float up above the ground a little bit to be able to go above Laszlo's head.
Okay, cool.
And
I'm gonna do that.
Hope you don't hit Laszlo.
Are all the other
Laszlo's
gates
got a good AC.
also closed now?
Which, sorry?
Are all the other gates also closed, or just the central one?
So the 4 on the outside that were let me use my ruler tool to show you. So these ones were already locked. These walls were stone gates, so stone bars, slits, like arrow slits that were floor to ceiling that you could see through, that you could then use the mage hand to then pull those things down. Are you understanding, or do you need further clarification?
Oh no, I just wasn't sure if when I pulled the levers, if those lowered any of the portcullises or whatever those are.
No, it didn't. Didn't lower them.
Got it.
Okay. So, Pijo, you can aim, plus these creatures are kind of dangling from the ceiling.
Okay.
These Sioux monsters dangling from the ceiling, so you can shoot up.
All right. Now, I have one more question. This is actually for Casey. How upset would you be if I targeted this one with an AoE effect that would also hit you?
Is it a dex save?
I believe so. It's dex save for half.
Hit me.
All right, great. So I'm going to use my bonus action to cast Lightning Arrow.
Okay.
And I'm getting that spell coming out. That card comes. And I am going to notch just a regular non-poison arrow. And I'm actually going to target... Let's see. That's 10... They're all within 10 feet of this one. So I'm going to target this.
Okay.
The one next to Zola. It's not like hidden, but
yeah.
I'm going to target that one with my arrow and hope to hit.
You ricochet the shot off the wall ever so slightly to get that angle. It hits the Sioux monster. It takes 8 points of piercing damage, and then immediately.
So instead of taking, it takes 48 lightning on a hit, and then half as much on a miss, and then everybody around does a dex saving throw for 2d8 lightning damage, or half on a miss. So instead of the 8 piercing, it does the 48, and then so I'll roll those to see what the. So this is the 48. And this is the 2d8. And my saving throw, is a 15. My dex save.
So then, whether you hit or miss, each creature within 10 feet of the target must make a dexterity saving throw. Okay, so Zola, do you have advantage on dex saves?
No, but does my reliable talent apply, considering I'm proficient with dexterity? And it says whenever you make an ability check, it lets you add your proficiency bonus.
Saving throw is not an ability check, unfortunately.
All right.
But your UNT magic resistance should give you advantage on saving throws against magical effects.
There you go.
There we go. So you succeed with that 29, Zola. All right, the Sioux monsters. 1. Wow, not very good. 6. Okay, so how many of those succeed, Pijo?
The
1, 2 of
the
them,
19
right?
and the 22 succeed. The others are fails. So they take half on the success.
All right, but everyone that fails takes 11 points of lightning damage, and everyone that succeeds takes 5.
No, sorry. Oh yes, and the one that I targeted initially takes the 16.
Yeah, and he's taken that 16. Okay.
Yeah.
So as he failed the dexterity save, he is dead.
Right.
All of the rest take that damage as described. Only 2 of them managed to succeed. So I'll mark that off. Anything else from you, Pijo?
I'm just going to keep my position because this looks like the best vantage I could have right now.
Okay. Carmen, what would you do?
Carmen is going to move to the left by 1 so she can see up the next corridor.
Okay.
And she's going to use Synaptic Static.
And where are you launching Synaptic Static?
Is a 20-foot reach radius on it, so I'm thinking that way I can. Sorry, one to the. Can I go at the wall? Can I go at the wall, or does it have to be an empty space?
You have to pick a space, an unoccupied space, I believe.
Okay.
Or not.
So,
maybe you don't have to choose an unoccupied space. Sorry, but I do believe you need to pick a space that you can see.
okay.
So I don't think you can pick in the wall.
So I picked that one.
Yep, that will get every creature in there except Zola,
Yep.
because it's a 20-foot radius sphere. Okay, so they all have to make intelligence saves, correct?
I believe so. Yep. Let me just roll that.
All right, so each one makes an intelligence saving throw. A target takes 86 psychic damage on a failed save or half as much on a successful one. So we have fail, 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 and success. So do you want to roll the 8d6?
Yep.
Okay, so 27 points of damage. With those that succeed and those that failed, immediately all of the Sioux monsters start screaming and flailing about, trying to grasp at whatever they can as they all freak out and die and disappear from here. Well done. As they die and disappear, since you defeated the children, the gates all open up, allowing you all safe passage and exit, and you would find that Wongo is no longer holding onto the cube. It's just sat in his lap.
Carmen will just look at Grigori and just give him a slight wink.
I'm gonna go grab that cube. Just
Okay.
shuffle on by, grab it.
There you go. You now have Wongo's cube.
That was quite the display, my dear.
Yeah, you missed a few things.
Mm.
We've been busy. Wait to see what your girlfriend can do.
He's been busy too, apparently. He's got a new book and he's got all his fancy new tricks. Where did you get these things from?
Just because he can read doesn't mean he's that fancy.
So true. I
Someone's
think
jealous.
most of us can read. Your uncle has quite the library. I spent my days studying.
Good. I'm glad it was useful.
All right, next shrine.
So, moving around, you'll go towards Papa Zottel's shrine. If you remember in there, you used cleverly figured out the letters and the organization and how they worked out the connection in the plaque. Thankfully, the cube is there on the pedestal. No traps have been reset. So you can go and pick up Papa Zottel's without any problem. Now, Nang Nang's.
Yes.
There's a bunch of dead grungs all around Nang Nang's shrine. You'll see it is back to here. So with this shrine, you hadn't been there previously, if I remember rightly. It's one of those that you didn't need to go through. But the doors of this place are open. As you approach through the water, you will see that the inside of Nang Nang Shrine is filled with treasure. loosely placed around. Lots of shiny little things just all over the place. And the gates are open, and Nang Nang's puzzle cube is sat on the pedestal at the back of the shrine.
Control yourself, Pijal.
Control is for people with control. I'm gonna go get some.
Pijal, this Nang Nang is very greedy. I do not think he'd appreciate you taking his things.
Well, then he should have closed the door.
So you're gonna go pick up some treasure?
Well, I'm gonna cross the threshold into there.
Okay.
And I'm gonna kind of look to Abreen because I know she was possessed by Nang Nang at least for some time. Going in. Any tips?
Don't get yourself killed.
Good advice, thank you. Let me. Where? Oh, I need to drag. I'm going to be right just on the other side of the door, the main door.
Okay.
Once I drag the token over there, I will be.
I was going to go in with
Okay. So you go in, you see a whole hoard of treasure all over the place. Lots of treasure chests, lots of coin left over, lots of urns and vases, and there is a carving in the floor right in front of a big set of double doors that are open, and inside you can see the puzzle cube for Nang Nang.
Hey, what does the inscription outside say?
It says, Nang Nang teaches us to serve only ourselves.
Okay, I'm gonna shrug, look over at Piju, shrug again, and continue to wait.
Piju's going to shrug back. He's not really sure why you're shrugging at him, but it seemed like the appropriate thing to do.
Just hand it off.
The cube is just right there.
Yeah, I'm going to just take a peek around real quick to see if I notice anything trapsy in here.
Roll a perception check.
I will, at advantage, because it's traps.
Can Tower look at the Nang Nang? It was the Pearl of Power, or which was Nang Nang's. Is that reverberating? And
it is, and it has activated the cube as well.
So the cube in front of us is.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, that's good because we have about the fake ones that we had dealt with. Now we know this is fake.
So, Pijo, when you look around, there doesn't appear to be any traps whatsoever.
All right, great. He's going straight for the cube. With
Straight
no
for the cube. Oh,
no heed. No heed for any danger. He's just going for the cube.
All right. You'll go in, you'll grab the cube. You've got the cube. Hey, good job.
All right. I got the cube, guys. I'm going to bring it out and get some shinies afterwards. And I'm going to hand the cube to give it to Carmen since she's the one that's reverberating.
Oh, thank you.
You're welcome. And I'm just going to so each one of these things is a chest?
Yep,
like it's accurate
treasure
what it is?
chests. Yep, absolutely. There's treasure chests. There's little vases. Everything's overflowing with coin.
Ooh.
Pijal, surely the jewel you have in your pocket is probably worth more than most of the gold in this tomb. This is shrine, sorry.
I don't care about the worth. I care about the shine.
But isn't that shinier than all of these things?
I don't know. They're in chests. Maybe it's not.
Can you make things dirty with that spell of yours?
Yeah, I could. Should I?
Make all the gold very,
That's
very
cold.
Okay. We're imagining PJ didn't hear that. Carmen's gonna.
No, he's distracted. He's.
Carmen's gonna prestidigitation all of the gold in like her view to just be all kind of dusty and cloudy and take the shine off them, just so they just look a little bit disappointing.
It doesn't work. They're still just as shiny as ever, sparkling as much as they can.
Well, completely unaware that anybody was trying and failing to magically tamper with this stuff that's obviously now not supposed to be touched with. I'm going to let's see. I'm going to try to open this treasure chest. This one.
No.
So, is anyone watching Pijo while he tries to open the treasure chest?
Yeah.
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 The captain is dubious, but he will be nearby to
Okay.
keep people out of danger.
Can't
So,
shout at him if he carries on.
And we don't have a history of bad dealings with treasure chests, so this should be fine.
I mean, you reach down, you grab the clasp, you start to lift it up and open it up. Strangely enough, it looks like there might be teeth inside of this
Ooh.
thing.
There's teeth
Oh,
in
hang
here.
on.
Are they shark
It's a
teeth? Are they
mimic.
dragon teeth?
Oh!
Mimic teeth. Okay, they're mimic teeth. Good, good, good.
Oh, crap.
In fact, I'd just like to me just grab all of them.
Oh no, that's a lot of them.
Every treasure chest inside of here happens to be a mimic.
But that means that all of the urns and coins are not.
Oh wait, they could be. I mean, the whole shrine could be a mimic for all we know.
So we're going to roll for initiative again, as Pijo is adhesed, stuck to the mimic.
Pijo.
Huge,
Pijo.
It seemed like a good idea. It was
It
so
was
shiny.
never a good idea. You had so many jewels in your pocket worth so much more.
I'm not
Actually,
saying-
the inscription outside of the temple would suggest that it would be a good idea. It says, "We help ourselves" or something like that.
See? And yeah, maybe objectively it was. And this isn't Peter would never use the word objectively. Maybe it wasn't really a good idea, but it seemed like one to me.
Okay, looks like we've got everyone in there. Thankfully, the mimics are a little slow, but you are now grappled by one of the mimics, Pijo. So, Zola, you hear what I assume to be an Aarakocra scream.
A squawk is probably the appropriate term for
A
it.
squawk.
Like that.
That was
I
brilliant.
have to be careful because there's a sleeping infant.
Where is that bit?
I haven't had a to.
I should wake up the baby.
What do you do, Zola?
Yes, I will slither in, and then I'll get on the ceiling, and 30 feet of movement will put me above Piju's head,
Okay.
and I'll go ahead and strike at the thing.
I wave with my
Alright.
other hand that's not stuck.
That will hit for 7 slashing. And the sneak attack.
And then I will use a dash to pretty much go right back where I was. Okay, good luck!
Carmen.
How? You don't have to tell me. I'm just wondering how quickly can the other mimics move, if they were going to kind of like move.
So you've seen mimics behave before.
Yeah.
Particularly, you saw a mimic grab hold of Zola and then
Yes.
jump. They don't have that much by way of movement speed. They're very slow. Certainly
Okay.
slower than a human would be.
Okay. Fine. I'm just wondering if I have to take all of them out, if I could just take the one out, which is grabbing onto Pijo right now, and we could run away. Which, in that case, she will move to. So, sorry, where am I aiming at? Am I aiming at the square that Pijo's at, or aiming at the square that the mimic's
The
at?
chest, the mimic.
Okay.
So, from your current position, you probably, unless you're casting a spell that does not require line of sight, you're not going to be able to see the mimic because of your current position. You need to be back in such a orientation that you can see everything.
I'm just wondering if I can physically get to like around this area as such without being grabbed myself, so I can have a strike and then jump out again.
Yes, you can.
Okay. In which case, I'll do that, and I will use my sword again. Haven't used my sword in a while.
With a 15 to hit, that will hit 11 points of piercing damage.
And I'll do a blade flourish with that as well.
Okay. For an extra 10. Okay.
And then I'll hit him again.
For another 9. Okay. Anything else from you, Carmen?
She will then hop back to over here.
Okay. So you stab in once, you do a bit of a spin, a twirl, and then come down with another one, and then pop back out.
Yeah.
Pijo, you're stuck.
I am stuck. I just want to point out, right after I made that noise, I saw my wife texted me and said that Charlotte did not like that. She's okay now, but it did disturb the baby for just a second. There's not a whole lot.
That gives Pijo disadvantage on whatever he's about to do.
It's not the grapple that does that. So I'm gonna. Grapples don't do that actually. Okay, I got that mixed up. I'm not gonna be able to really effectively use my bow and arrow because of the fact that one hand is stuck. So I am going to unsheath my magical lich dagger, and I'm gonna just try to stab this thing in the face or whatever the approximation of a face on a mimic is.
It's got a couple eyes, so
go for
I'm
one
going
of them. Hunter's mark it first, then I'm going to do that, just so, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. So I'm clicking all of the wrong places. There we go. Sorry, everything is like, every like I accidentally clicked open office, which then is now slowing everything down and opening up. But I've rolled, and now we are there.
Okay. A 12 is going to hit.
Oh, good. I'll add my hunter's mark and my Colossus Slayer.
Okay.
And I'm gonna.
What are you gonna do?
I was gonna attack again with the dagger.
Okay. Go ahead.
Okay. Oh, I'm not rolling the Lich Dagger. This should have a plus. Sorry, that should have a +1. To it.
Okay.
So yeah, I was clicking the wrong thing. Okay, that's all.
All right. With those quick stab, and your hand breaks free because the mimic dies.
And I will now fly away.
Okay.
I'm going over here. Guys, it's a mimic. The treasure's mimics. We should not stay here. It's not safe. We can go. We have the thing. Let's go that way.
Captain.
As Matthew frozen.
Captain Laszlo. Yeah. Oh no. He's gone.
He's typing.
Oh, he is typing. He is typing.
Oh,
There we go.
Okay.
Laszlo exits and closes the doors behind him. Good man. As you all leave, close the doors. The mimics aren't going to chase you outside of the shrine. You've got the cube. You get out, and Pijo is fine. Hey, that rhymes.
Can we just write on that sign there that the treasure chests are mimics, just for
Don't
anybody
dead
else?
mimics inside.
Yeah.
Wait.
It makes
I know
perfect
what it
sense to
said.
Pijo.
So it should be don't mimic dead inside?
Yeah.
Perfect. No, all right. So now you have the cube from Nang Nang's shrine. There is but one shrine remaining to reclaim. This one you had gone through previously. Obeleka's shrine involved torches and teleportation pools that you could just bounce up and down through as they teleported you back and forth. I believe you went through this one. Did you? Did you not? You did. Because the torches are in the right place, so I assume you did.
It's not ringing a bell.
I don't remember any of these.
No, I don't remember this one.
I know one day I missed and there were a
Okay.
lot. that happened, so.
I remember why you didn't do this one. And that's because of these fine fellows that were outside at the time. The Yuan-Ti abominations and their brood guard were outside, and they had claimed the treasure. So this is one that they completed that you didn't have to. Okay. So as you go in, you'll see what appears to be a wall that has been opened to your left. As soon as you enter, there is a corridor to the right that has torches burning within it. As you make your way through the false corridor, you crest around, you'll see a central pool inside a room on the left. Now, the ceiling of this room has a image depicted on it of a moon. Just a painting of a moon that's kind of a crescent moon, half closed off. As you look into the pool, though, the reflection that you see is actually that of a complete sun. But then you can walk through the door and see that the cube is on the pedestal, but there is a person stood there with his hand on the pedestal as well. That person whose hand is on the pedestal, on the cube, is completely stone.
Oh, okay. That doesn't look promising.
Now, these two pools, the pool in the left and the pool in the right, are magically connected in that they are just a thin layer of water passing through one, pops you up out of the other one. So if you lean down and put your head inside one pool, your head is popping up out of the other one. So,
Okay.
what would you guys do? You see this cube on the pedestal, you see a man touching it completely solidly stone, not holding onto it, but just touching it. And corridors and doors are open for you.
I guess I'll start by looking for traps and secrets that I can see. Maybe the cube didn't turn him to stone. Maybe something else did.
What does the plaque on the front of this one say?
On the front of Obolaka's shrine, Obolaka teaches us to tread warily and stay in the light.
Is the stone figure not in light?
Currently, everything in here seems to be anything that doesn't have a torch in it is dark. So only those with dark vision can actually see anything. Okay. So as of right now, the only things everyone but Carmen can see the whole shrine, but all Carmen can see. I think it's only Carmen that doesn't have dark vision. Tower doesn't have it as well. Okay. So you'll also see that there are the 8 torches that line the wall.
Tower will light his hand.
There you go. You got some light.
If I turn into stone, can you guys turn me back again?
I can turn you back.
Okay. All right, come over here. Come here. Get your hand down here. All right.
So you use his light to then reach and grab the cube.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. You can grab the cube and nothing happens to you.
Great. Let's get out of here.
I will stay with her the entire time.
And you'll get out, and you have Obolaka's exalted cube. Unlocked cube.
Hooray.
There you go. All 9 of the cubes. Good job. What do you do now?
I guess we got to go back to the door of the tomb and see if we can pry it open. Find some nice sizable boulders.
Aye.
Yes, that sounds like a good idea.
The door had a spell, a wall of stone. I have not prepared it this day, but I could use this to efficiently block the door.
Does the
Right.
wall of stone stay even after you're done messing with it?
Yeah, I think it's permanent. Oh no,
I don't think it would be.
is it not?
Tower's quote really is, "I have not prepared this day."
And yet you never take the time to rest and give him the opportunity to prepare.
Well, I am thinking it would be nice. We spent all day getting these cubes. We sleep and then in the morning do this work.
Laszlo, everyone slept
I, for one,
last
would be
night.
very much for that.
I also have stone shape where I could create stone structures into that area. I think.
Oh look, it's level 1 of the tomb.
So there you go.
No, we're back to the right images now too.
Yep. Rather than old images. I knew something was wrong about Pijo. Last screen. All right. So back at the entrance to the tomb. You've seen it all, mostly, so I don't mind you seeing it all again. Spoiler alert if you haven't seen the adventure. Look away now. Or a couple minutes ago. Sorry. All right. So. What are you guys going to do?
This illusion here on the left side, so let's walk forward there. And then there was some sort of ticking time clock. Oh, wait. So yeah, we walk through the illusion. We put the cubes in. They oppose each other. This door opens. And then we need to wedge this door open somehow. Is Tower's stone shape spell up to that task?
Isn't there a timer with this door? Once we open this door, do we not have a... I remember last time there was a timer. So we shouldn't open this door until we're all ready, perhaps. We decided if Laszlo needs a rest.
I have another spell where I can shape stone specifically and it will stay, as far as this looks like it will stay. But again, I did not prepare it this day. So,
So boulders it is.
Well, yeah. Are there rocks sufficiently large enough that I think it would
Before
wedge?
we go back into the tomb, which we have repeatedly said is incredibly dangerous and could very easily kill us inadvertently, let us have a night with a meal and a fire and some chatting and then some sleep, and then we go in the morning to face our certain doom.
Let's give Laszlo a goodbye.
Laszlo did watch Overcoming's body all night. He has not rested. Maybe he is too proud to say, but it is worth us all getting rest.
Oh, I am not too proud to say. I am very tired, but I'm also very excited. So we can certainly go forward, but it sounds like it would be good if we spent some time preparing.
It's still early in the morning for me, and we have a whole lot of stuff to do. Not just this.
How much time did it take us to walk over the entirety of Omu?
Yeah, it would have taken you a while to get all of those cubes. For all of that, I would have said it's early afternoon at this point. You could reasonably call it a day now. You wouldn't be able to go to sleep, but you could rest. You'd actually fall asleep in about 4 or 5 hours. Laszlo, however, could fall asleep right now and wake up 8 hours from now.
I was just going to say, if you guys want to do that, Piju, if you want, because I don't see it causing a problem that I know of, we could go talk to some gargoyles.
Be better
Or
than
we could just
sleeping all
pop
night.
right in. There's Moa's sarcophagus was right around the corner.
Yeah, there's that too. There's definitely that option.
But before that, we must wedge the doors open, yes?
Which, if you remember last time, you wedged the first door open with stone. So that stone should be somewhere around here.
Did it not wedge?
Yeah, why isn't it not there?
It was
anymore?
wedged, but as you go back to it, you'll find obviously it's not there. It has been rolled out of the way.
Ah, okay.
Some
Meddlers.
other being came along and moved it.
Grigori would like to examine the doors. Like the actual hinges and such. Are they magical? Can they potentially just be destroyed? Can you blow the door literally off its hinges so that it falls down?
So it's not so much a hinge, so much as this is a stone block inside of a slot that drops down.
Is it magical stone? I guess. Could I destroy the stone? Is what he's trying to figure out.
The door has been granted immunity to all damage. So you can test it out and you'll find you won't be able to destroy it.
Can I reshape it?
No, you can't. Not the door.
Can we reshape the stone around
Out
the
the
door?
door. Can I reshape the hinges?
Careful with the door,
problem
everyone.
you
This
have
is our
with that-
only way in and out. We don't want to wedge it shut without any way else to get back in.
I.e., don't upset the end.
Remember, stone shape only allows you, for each casting of stone shape, which is a 4th level spell, you can only manipulate 5-foot cube of stone.
How big's the door?
The door is
It's
10 foot by 10 foot. So you'd be able to get one portion of the door, but there's so many pieces of the frame around the door that you wouldn't be able to unlock it without casting stone shape at least 6 times,
Which you can't.
potentially 8. So
Okay.
It's a 5 cubic.
I
feet.
guess 2 would be enough to create a 5 foot wide, 10 foot tall gap around the door that you could try. So if you're willing to cast it twice, you could do that. But you form it into any shape that suits your purpose. So a small passage through a wall. Yep.
This is all academic because Tower didn't prepare the spell this day.
Sure. Sure. So
Unless we have a rest.
you're all
I could make a 10 foot. I could make a 10 foot by 10 foot hole next to it.
Why are we putting holes in the door? We got the keys.
Zola, how about this? You agreed to help me with the gargoyles. I will help you in there. Let's pop in, see if we can do this fast. With the door still wedged open.
Okay, well, we still need a boulder first. Do you want to help me find a boulder?
Absolutely. Let's find a boulder.
Okay, the best, prettiest boulder.
The shiniest boulder.
So which of your skills will you put to the test to find the best and prettiest boulder?
Perception.
Survival.
Okay, so in what way does your survival skill help you, Pijo?
Well, if he's survivaling in the wild, that would be a lot of like hunting and tracking and being able to identify different kinds of things. It's not like an academic thing like nature, but it is his ability to find and get by in the wilderness, in the wild. So I presume with that would allow him to be able to find certain natural objects and phenomena and such as a very, very large and shiny boulder. I could use it's the same bonus as perception, but survival seems more appropriate.
Then you roll survival and Zola roll perception.
Right.
The two of you will find 2 almost identical boulders. They're round, but they're about 15 foot in diameter, so you square off the top 2.5 feet on either side, and you've got a flat top and bottom oval-shaped block now at this point.
All right, I'm gonna see if I can roll it over on my own.
Yeah, I'm of no help to you on that. I'm going to try to help, but it's going to be like nothing. You're not going to notice a single
Athletics check.
difference.
And what this is gonna visually look like is she's gonna attempt to use herself and her snake-like form as a tractor sort of thing. She's gonna wrap herself around the boulder and start doing somersaults. Essentially, is how that looks.
Actually, can I use a help action to give her advantage on this? Because I am, even though my strength is butt, I am proficient in athletics.
Yeah.
So
Well, you don't need to have proficiency in athletics to be able to help someone with it. So, yes,
Right.
absolutely. But you need to describe to me how you're in that scenario with how Zola is somersaulting this rock. How are you helping her?
I'm helping her by giving her from up top maybe giving her kind of like, oh, make sure it's going there, and I'll be like, okay, let's get it balanced, good, perfect, we're good, and
I got
it's
a better idea, Piju.
yeah.
Why don't you get on the rock and do like a log roll thing for me?
Oh, I can do that. Then I can use acrobatics. I'm helping, so it doesn't matter. But.
Okay.
Yeah.
Zola, go ahead and roll athletics with advantage. Okay. You are able to push this boulder and get it rolling. However, the door has yet to be opened. So you don't have. You're going to have to keep it moving. The two of you keep it moving while someone opens the door. And so you've got to convince Averine or someone to open the door for you.
I will convince them by shouting, "Here we come!"
Quick, give me the cubes. I'll put them in.
Okay.
Did you not say that the person who put the cubes in is the person that received them in the tomb? Are you going in, Avery?
I'm happy to go in, but we're just gonna take Moa's cube after we've opened the door, and then go get Moa. That's the plan, as I understand it.
Okay.
Well, why are we not taking all the cubes? The door is going to close with Moa missing.
Smash.
Okay.
Okay.
Them. If we have all the cubes, then if the door is shut, we will not have to go to all the shrines again.
We're keeping the door open. That's the reason why Zola and Piju have that big rock behind you.
Okay.
Okay.
And we could go through the whole dungeon again, but you just said you wanted to rest. We're just gonna go in and grab
that is
Moa.
a great idea. Yes, that is a marvelous idea, Avorine.
Okay. So Averine puts all the cubes in. The door shifts upwards magically, though all 9 of the cubes suddenly disappear and appear in your hands. That's a lot of stone cubes to suddenly appear into your hand. And on the far side of the room, you see the door. A skeletal hand shoots out of the door on the opposite side, turns an hourglass around, and then a lever appears next to it. 10.
If I remember correctly, we just wait it out.
Yeah,
8.
I'm gonna wait outside of the threshold of the first door, though.
7. Okay, so no one's going in, no one's going to do anything. Okay. The latch will, after the 10 seconds, the hourglass turns again, closes itself, and then the door opens up. You can move the boulder into place. Then you'll have to make another athletics check to move the second boulder into place for the first door, so that you've got both doors blocked open. That one takes a while, and as such, you will gain a level of exhaustion simply with the task. Zola and Pijo.
Nobody's gonna help us. We're just sitting here struggling. Going, "Arr!"
Yeah. Okay. So now the 2 doors are open. The corridor beckons ahead of you. What are you going to do?
Well, if I go as fast as I can zip through there, get to the shrine, collect Moa, and come back.
No, don't go alone.
Okay.
Because you remember the little girl skull?
Oh, right. I
So
forgot
let's all
about
go in
her.
together.
Okay.
So, do you remember which of the rooms on this level was Moa's shrine?
One right to the right.
To the right, with the glowy egg thing. Oh, well, in the map, it's a glowy egg thing, but that was the skull, I think.
Do you remember what happened to the remains of that skull?
It regenerates, right? In that room?
Yes, but you guys didn't do anything special to the skull, so it is still in there to regenerate.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
And there was that door, or the mouth that I wedged that shield into that closes after every 3 persons go through.
Mm-hmm.
Didn't you properly break that?
I think the shield was destroyed, perhaps. I don't remember exactly.
I thought they fused together.
Yeah, I think it was wedged up enough that the mechanism broke.
So
We lost the shield, but the mechanism to the mouth gate broke.
So, Pijo, you know there's a flame skull in and around that area. somewhere. Are you going by yourself? Laszlo is hurt, so it's probably not a good idea for him.
Laszlo is healthy. He just does not have any magic or any way to heal himself. I am feeling great.
He still has that great AC though, and a shield. I know Zola and Everine are coming in with me, from what it sounds like, and Zola told me not to go alone. So.
It depends who you come to. You haven't seen this place yet. Plus, for what this room has in it, blasty stuff might be good.
Okay.
Tower and we will remain. The other rocks were moved. I do not wish you to get locked in here again. I will maintain and make sure that you can get out.
And maybe if you guys notice the rocks are getting crushed, come inside so you were not separated. Just a thought.
If needs be, we can go back and collect the. If you get trapped, we will go back and collect the cubes once again.
I have all the cubes.
Except for Wongo and Shigambi.
Yeah.
If you remember rightly, because they weren't activated, they don't reappear in your hand. So you've got 7 of the cubes right now. So if the door closes with you inside, 7 of the cubes are going to stay inside the tomb until they either die or come back out.
We could dimension door in. If the door's shut.
Okay. So you guys pass into this space, into the tomb. And as you go around, you will be able to see quite clearly, as you get to even just this corner right at the edge here, that almost guarding that tomb is the flame skull. Just staring right down the corridor, waiting for you to come back up the stairs. What do you guys do? As you can see, the flame skull is over there.
I'm gonna sneak. Is it staring out towards us or staring down to the stairs?
It is staring. Well, it's staring towards where the stairs are, which for it is looking straight across towards you. Because it's not actually looking towards the stairs; it's looking towards this balcony here.
Okay. Well, I'm still gonna try to sneak. I'll use the shrubbery.
Okay, roll a stealth check.
See how close I can get to this thing. Hey.
What was the result?
It was a nat 20, so I got a 33.
Nice. All right. So as long as you have something to break line of sight, this thing probably won't be able to see you.
I'll get to about there before I lose my cover.
Okay. So what's everyone else doing? It doesn't seem to have reacted to Zola's movements.
So do we all see the flame skull?
Everyone should be able to see the flame skull. It's illuminated. It's keeping the place well lit. Everyone should be able to see it from where they are.
Everine, does this need to be destroyed or dealt with more discreetly?
Well, if I don't know about discretion, but it is an undead thing. So if I can see it, I'm going to point in its general direction and cast Sickening Radiance upon it.
Actually, I'm thinking back. Wasn't there like a waterway that went through? If we went through Obalaka's shrine, we could sneak past the flaming skull.
And why would we do that? If it is undead, we can destroy it.
But it's just going to come back.
Why?
You're asking the wrong guy.
I'm looking behind
There is a
myself.
source of its regeneration. Perhaps we can destroy that too.
I cast Sickening Radiance. Right on its face.
Okay. Don't you have to make an attack roll first?
Sickening Radiance? No, it's just a spell.
Okay, when a creature moves into the spell's area for the first time on a turn or starts its turn there, that creature must succeed on a con save. Okay, so it'll have to make the con save. So let me pull up its sheet. And it is an 8. Go ahead and roll the radiant damage, 4d10. And it suffers a level of exhaustion. 30.
30 damage.
All right. That is a powerful strike against this creature. It takes 30 points of damage. It is now very weak. We would roll for initiative, but this probably isn't going to last very long. Is anyone else going to take any action that might deal some damage?
I mean, Grigori can shoot it with his Eldritch Blast, which he has done repeatedly.
Okay.
And I get 3 rays now, because we are level 11.
Grigori, what's happened to your accent?
Wow. Do you want to know how many hit points the
Captain
Flame Skull
Laszlo
currently
knows
has?
these things, and he is encouraging the Tiefling to do this. I have no idea. 1, I hope. Or maybe 9.
They have 10 hit
It
points left.
had 10, and you've just dealt 9, so it's got 1 hit point left. Can anyone else who's gone through there also roll it before we have to roll initiative for everyone?
I will use Quickening Spell to spend 2 Sorcerer Points to, as a bonus action, cast another spell, and I will use my Eldritch Blast again.
Okay.
Hey!
There we go. And that will finish off the Flame Skull. So the defenses in front of Moa's sarcophagus are gone. Who's going to go?
Me?
So do you have Moa's cube with you?
Yes. And I have the staff and, well, actually, I assume, because I'm about to do this, did Averine give me the cube back?
Sure.
Okay.
So as you enter, the sarcophagus is closed once again. So you'll have to push it open. Simple athletics check. Yep, with a 21, you're able to push it over. Inside, you'll see the remains of Moa the snake. Or rather, the Chikuli, right? So you scoop up everything into the little cube.
Yeah, I'll be like, dude, I don't know how this works, so I'm just gonna try to do what I can.
Okay. You'll scoop in as much of the skeletal remains and the dust and the ash that's inside the sarcophagus and place it inside the cube, and it becomes tightly packed. You clamp it shut. As you do so, it seems to seal itself magically, and you sense the voice of Moa speaking to you telepathically through the cube. It has been a while.
It's been like a day, less than a day, but man, glad to have you back. All right, we're gonna get you out of here for real this time.
Okay. So, currently speaking, if I understand this right, Tower and Carmen are outside the Tomb of the Nine Gods. Everyone else is inside. Okay.
Yep.
Well, Laszlo's probably going to enjoy this. As you begin making your way back towards the front door, everything just starts to spin. Everything goes dizzy. Lights begin to flash. Laszlo's been through this before. And you guys will end up magically transported to the distant land of Tethir and the true Tomb of Horrors. When a voice speaks out, "I'll get you all. Thanks for coming back inside."
Uh-oh.
Oh no!
As everyone except for Tower and Carmen are magically transported to the Tomb of Horrors. And conveniently, you're the right level for it. So, hey.
Works out.
I feel disoriented, but all I see is pitch black. I don't see a.
You do?
No, this happens after the. Give it a moment. There is a moment of adjustment, and then you will be able to see.
Let me. I'd have to grab all your tokens and all that to bring it in. I'm just gonna make a quick change. Do not enforce line of sight. Well.
Oh, yeah.
And this is the story about how Tower's the only person who made it home normal. Or at all.
Let me grab someone, if not all of you. All 20 is taking its time. There we go. All right, Carl. There you go.
I see the title Tomb of Horrors, which sounds much worse than the Tomb of Nine Gods.
Yep.
Not as scary
It's
as
a
Tomb
little
of
bit worse.
Annihilation, though.
Now, granted, you guys can just use teleport or teleport circle and go back to Port 90 and go home. But Laszlo is now home.
Wait, so are we outside the tomb right now? Because
You're
where we
actually... No, where you are is you're stood outside the entrance, which Laszlo would recognize as he came through here once before.
Yes, this is the Tomb of Horrors. I know it well.
Well, this wasn't
As
the
you
plan.
may recall, all of my compatriots have died gruesome deaths inside.
Well,
I vote not going in.
I'm with Averine. She's always right.
Same. I got shit to do.
Moa just calls out, I think that might be wise, you know?
Thanks.
Yeah. Thanks for getting me out of there, by the way.
Anything for you, buddy? You're my new god.
How do you get home? Do you go home? Do you explore the tomb?
Well, I don't think we should explore the tomb. So when we were teleported, was there a moment where we could have said, "Oh no, we're teleporting somewhere," very loudly for other people to hear?
Well, I guess if the door was open, they might have seen us disappear, right? If the
Some of you were still at the end of the
because I
corridor.
didn't
Some
go.
of you were in the corridor, so they would have seen you just turning to ash and dust and floating off into the mist.
Did they hear a snap sound first?
Were we
No.
paying attention to them, or were we paying attention to each other?
Does the tomb look the way that it did back when I very first entered it?
It does.
Oh,
In
I am very
fact-
glad to be home, but you are very far from home.
Right in front of the door appears to be one of the corpses of your companions, who didn't get very far, to be honest. I mean, it's the front door.
Yeah.
You'd hope you'd get further.
Alas, poor Yorick. Poor Yorick. I knew him well. Well, I am. The last time I came here, it did not. We did not clear out this tomb, but we were able to clear out your tomb. I am quite certain, with all of us together, we can destroy another tomb of Acererak, which would be a great boon to the entire world, as any machination of that arch-lich is surely to the detriment of all that is good and peaceful in the world. So what do you say?
Well, I don't want to fight a Sarac again. And
But
apparently,
we killed him,
no.
and now he's
a
weak. We'll kill him
He
again.
can talk to us. He's probably already reformed. He said, "Ah ha ha! You came back, suckers." That's what I heard, at least.
Laszlo, I think it's certainly a thing worth doing, but I don't know that we're necessarily the people that need to be doing it. I feel a responsibility to return to Candlekeep and deposit the wealth of knowledge I've acquired regarding this curse and the Sararak and the tomb and Omu and all of those things. There are a few things that we still need to do back home. Perhaps you can raise another company, like probably hopefully better than this fella,
Well, I think it is true that the knowledge of how to defeat him is much more important. But as you may know, I am lacking much of that knowledge myself, because I knew how to get in here, but you had a lot of it. So perhaps to ensure that it is safely guarded so that the world may know, why do we not take some time to record all of it? And I ensure that my copy gets safekeeping here in my land with my order, and you can return to your homes and do the same. If you can, I do not know. We are in a different place, and I am not one with the magics for the traveling.
What's Grigori doing and thinking right now, by the way? He's been very quiet.
He's standing by Zola, quietly. Not getting in the way.
Okay.
Well, we can't get back to Omu, as far as I know. I don't have a teleportation circle to that area. So I'm sure any moment we'll be hearing from Carmen asking how we're doing. And if she reaches out to any of you, I suppose tell her that we'll be heading to Port Nyanzaru with my teleportation magic, and that Zola's brother was supposed to be at a coast, the name of which I no longer recall, with a boat.
I think it was Jahaka.
Jahaka Anchorage is where he went, but you also know that's also it's a kind of a pirate bay of sorts, owned and run by the by Lady Liara Portier.
Perfect. Good place for him.
Is Carl okay?
I think he had headphone issues because he took them off and looked very frustrated at them, and then got up.
All right. So in this moment, I believe Averine is going to suggest teleporting back to Port Nyanzaru. Right?
Yeah, it sounds like.
After we first take time, write out all that was happened in a copy for me so that I can take it to my people, which will perhaps help my next group. His brother, Jorik, wants to come as well, so maybe we will survive better the second time if we are all here. I am, of course, kidding somewhat, but it is very dangerous, and the knowledge would be helpful.
Is Carl typing? Headphones aren't working. You can't hear us at all. I'm assuming that's a no.
Yep.
Okay. All right.
Grigori finally says all the things he hates.
Generally?
No,
Would
it's
it be
just
possible, and maybe pass along for. I'll actually type it. That might be easier to go through speakers and mute sound. Not sound. Microphone. If you mute sound, you won't hear us.
So I presume Laszlo and his group getting up here, there was kind of a base camp. Like, the tomb is not exactly right next door to the city. Like, there should be a base camp not far from the tomb. Mm-hmm. We can go there, we can make these copies, and then we can play as friends.
Wait, so you can come and go out of this one?
No, we are outside the front door. We are not inside the tomb.
Okay. That's a strange place for a Serac to drop us.
Well, if my suspicions are correct, this may be more complicated than you are thinking, but I am home.
Does everyone here talk like you?
Well, we do not have your terrible accents, but...
Speak for yourself.
It depends. Most people do not speak this language. Most people speak 3 or 4 different languages related to the area.
So while Averine is trying to figure out the message to be sent to Carmen, or the response to Carmen sending to him or any of you to make sure that everything's okay. And you guys are writing down all the things you know about killing a Serarak and his traps and the kinds of things that he did in the Tomb of the Nine Gods. You'll do all the preparations, the things that you feel like Laszlo needs to get done before you can teleport or teleportation circle back to Port Nine Zaro. Okay. If everyone's cool with that plan as is, you will do that. Averine will use teleportation circle to get back to Port Nine Zaro. You all begin to teleport. Everyone goes to Port Nine Zaro. Laszlo just seems to phase in and out and stays at the Tomb of Horrors.
Bye-bye.
Serac will
It
not
has been-
allow Laszlo to go.
Oh, I do not intend to go. I am staying here so that I can complete my mission.
Good.
But it has been a pleasure. I will have fond memories of the time we killed all the liches together.
I'll tell Carmen you said bye-bye.
Oh yes, tell her I am sorry that she died, but again, she's well worth the sacrifice, so she should feel proud.
Okay.
That is a wonderful screen to be stuck on. Wide-eyed. All right. So, Carmen,
Yes.
you send a message to them
Yep.
saying, what? Hey, guys. Are you
Hi
okay?
guys, are you okay? Where are you? In case you don't all come back, wish Laszlo well. Where shall we meet you, basically?
Okay. And the message will be, Shargo should have a boat out in the Jahaka Bay, and they're going to Port Nine Zaro.
Yeah.
Okay. So, as our heroes head back to Port Nine Zaro, and are split up to some degree, that is where we are going to end tonight's session. Carl, I'm sorry you can't hear us. We will catch you up. We really will. Oh, can you hear us now?
No, I told him to get ready to call it.
Okay, fair enough. Then, well, thank you very much, folks, for joining us tonight. We are... trying to remember. Next week, someone remind me, are we playing next week or not? I know Christmas period is over.
Yes. I thought next week we were
Yes.
playing.
Next week, we are going to be running. The week after, we will not be here. So join us again next week as we join our heroes split. Some in Port Nine Zaro, some stuck in, well, not stuck in, but still in the city of Omu. Good night, everyone.